little VRT on the front side, but more like IRT, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I mean, like, still in the same vein, you still got a top tier along with Ralf and Terry. So, like, you know, how much is really?
Hey, wait a minute. You got a top tier and Terry, right? Because Ralf is top tier. You feel me? Here we go.
I don't know. Sometimes I walk into that 2C, I feel dumb, but then I walk back or I watch it back and I'm like, you know what? No, that wasn't my fault.
That wasn't my fault. Here we go, though. Got the lemon lime Mary. It's like green Mary. Let's see if she can do. Mary, another character too, doesn't get talked about enough as just a really dominant character with every tool imaginable. You know, let's see if she can exercise those options against Isla.
Yep, right now we're exercising the right to offense right there, trying to get something going against here. But here we go, the Rolling Thunder now going to get what Mary loves to get started. But 5C to break out of the take throw attempt, I assume. And this is all Isla needs to get started here. It's gonna run up.
Yeah, could have been able to close it out. But nice, okay, the little dive kick there, blowing up the recovery on the real counter. Great stuff right there. Just staying out of dodge, and that's how you want to play. I mean, Isla's whole design plan is to be in the air, to be active at all spacings, and that's how you deal with a character like Mary, just like you start off with that stand CD all the way to the wall.
Yeah, definitely huge right there, especially getting it on Chizuru, somebody who can be a moving wall if they get started, but in their own right on the other end. Isla just doing the darn thing on offense. All of these CDs, but here we go, busting out with the DP, and then busting out with the 2B. A lot of alphabets being seen, but we're spelling off offense here. Start with O with Chizuru, and we're just gonna get on out of there and return to neutral.
Yeah, drop the counter hit conversion. I mean, Chizuru's jump arc is a little awkward, right? She's a little floaty. It's the aerodynamics in her sleeves right there. It holds her up in the air. So you're gonna get opened up by the amp below though. And Alucard's son looking like Alucard's father right now, the way he is draining the TheAdmiralSultan and bringing him down to Anchor Anton. That's a beefy boy, bro. Close to 5 bars. Let's see what we can do.
Oh, and the big changes that they got afforded on their conversion ability could be huge here to get Isla off of the screen here, getting a bit of 4D, and you're already seeing it being represented even at a bigger range than you would expect. But right now, Isla just opting to, you know, create space right there. And I think, you know, up 2 characters, try to bleed some time, but here we go. The command grab to get things started, run up with the low. Got the low again on the meaty, but just couldn't convert off of the Oki.
Yeah, that's the problem with Antonov, right? He doesn't have any low confirmed. So the only thing he can really go into is a max mode, just like we saw right there. So even with the little bit of health that Alucard's son had to still spin 2 bars, which Antonov needs all the media he can get, right? That's really where he decides to shine. And we'll try to see some of those big combos come out. But of course, the big normals are going to be coming round start heavy punch from Ralf Jones.
100% the big normals here. And then getting the low confirm with the EX big punch right there, and now we're going in with Ralf, trying to DP on out of harm's way. Trying to go for a little bit of a call out there, but gonna be called out on their own defensive mishap here, and that is a ton of damage by Mr. Ralf Jones here as they are suffocating Antonov in the corner.
Yeah, he's 1-2C away from seeing God as Antonov, but try to sneak in a command grab there. This is going to be able to confirm if he somehow lived. We had 2 bars to convert right into super. So Alucard's son, yeah, just in control that entire time, neutralizing the options from Blue Mary and even the Chizuru, right? The Admiral Funk, excuse me, that's another person. Shout out to him. TheAdmiralSultan had a chance to convert with Chizuru, but was unable to get that big cross up, and I think that's what hurt. So we're gonna get a member selection. I predict maybe Mary is either getting swapped position or swapped out, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. I could see that, and also they didn't get a ton started with the Chizuru, so I could also see that being thrown to the wayside, but I would most likely go with your conjecture. But no, we're just going to keep the same theme, and I'm probably assuming that this was a bit in the same order, so I'd probably just go back to the character select screen, get a bit of a breather, just, you know, reevaluate, okay, what went wrong against Isla especially, because that was definitely who was taking it the distance here to get started. So again, same order. We're just gonna have to see if that Blue Mary can halt the momentum of Isla, or if we're just gonna see a little bit more of what we saw in game 1.
He totally backed up, opened up Dream Cancel, looked at the frame data, he said, oh, I can't challenge. All right, that's what it was. That's why I went back to guard select. Here we go. Let's see if that tiny bit of time it can help him win here. But full court press right here from Alucard's son, staying in, gets a jump normal. No nurse here, baby. 9 frames, still deep enough to get a combo.
A little bit of press Virginia action here. A Mountaineer needed to climb the mountain that is going to be put on that life bar deficit here by Isla, and even getting bigger now that they got the low confirm into the EX, but jumping right into the loving arms of the real counter. I think that they had the idea, as we had an idea, to run up and throw. Didn't pan out though, as they got thrown out and then got hit by a stand CD. But the wheels were turning defensively, and Alucard just falling in there, couldn't make the most of it, however, and so that is what forces mid Chizuru to come in. But this character is anything but.
For sure, yeah, mid to say the least, right? A top 7 character, possibly top 5 now with the changes. Isla does not care though that she's gonna go right into that super confirm, the fake high. We're botching that punish, but still, it's a matter. Wow, funky. I'm surprised I didn't connect there. It should have at least hit regardless of the combo attempt. As we keep the pressure on that guard gauge, taking the beat, and man, you gotta be aware, Admiral. Use your offense, but there is the super confirm.
Yeah, the guard gauge is going back up, but not the health gauge, because Isla is doing a bit of taxing on that. But a little bit of a refund being afforded right back to you, and get a seal on top of that as well. So no specials for a little bit here, no DP as well. So that gives Chizuru all the time in the world to get some corner offense going, and gonna try to keep that corner positioning with a little bit of an offensive DP, but the offensive jump in right there, just throwing the spray cans right in the face of Chizuru, dirtying the robe with the sleeves, as you were mentioning, but no sleeves on the part of Antonov. It's just all hulking, man, and the hulking damage off of this stray hit. Look at what Antonov can do to you.
Ooh, he tried to go for the jump back and instant overhead too, but a hair out of place there to tap the dome of Isla. I mean, just play things safe, man. Don't go too crazy. I was literally, I'm telling you, I was about to say, use that EX splash. It lingers for so long. He said, I heard you, Chief. Got it out before I could even think it. But we got still another tall order, right? We were at this deficit before. Okay.
But some favor, or the fortune favors the bold there, right there. Missing out on the max mode confirm was Alucard, and that same damage that was going to be put onto Antonov's light bar goes right back onto Ralf Jones. So AdmiralSultan considering himself very lucky right now, because things were going to get very precarious, but they might still get the forward throw into the stand CD, into the level 1, and this is Ralf Jones' corner offense.
I'm telling you, can't tell me that Ralf is not from New York, bro. That was the most YN thing I've ever seen in my lifetime. Ralf start like that, gets the run up, bro, tapping you on the dome with the headbutt. Alucard's son, just what a crazy play, but clearly it worked, gotten some of the necessary changes that makes him better. And I'm still not a complete believer, Zomer, but I do wanna see what happens.
Yeah, you were definitely at the forefront of the Krohnen McDonald's movement that was going on after he got. I mean, look, people were complaining about him, and rightfully so. We saw the mirror match at Evo, but yeah, he got shot, but he is doing that right back to you nowadays with these great changes that he's been afforded with the universal mechanics, as well as a little bit of tweaks that he got from Oda and the SNK team. But right now, speaking of some good tweaks, we've got Kim versus Gato to start the point war, and both characters might be hitting kind of well in this version of the game.
I think so, and that DP was not well. You're about to be looking unwell, sir. Gonna be sick to your stomach when Kim is kicking you all in there. But yeah, Kim, indeed, one of the biggest glow-ups, and this should be a dead. No, just a little bit left to go. Of course, the classic, right? Hot CD, stagger into overhead. I've been getting hit by that since KOF 13, bro.
Yep, doesn't matter what level that you're at, what game that you're playing, that overhead to finish the round is as true as time, and the sands of time are going to be flowing here as O.Chris is coming out, holding the fire. Gonna see if we can get something started here, get some hot offense going, but we're trying to roll out of the plus range, but still getting caught. And O.Chris, the incredibly mobile character, not as mobile as regular Chris, I don't believe, but still good enough to catch that roll attempt there and get all that damage done to Kim.
Oh yeah, why'd you jumping for, man? Flash kick is all out. And what a bait on the throw attempt there. I love seeing that. A lot of players are starting to get more mileage out of just run up, pole jump, right? Catch you mashing on the way down, full extension, even with the delayed 2C right there. And jacking is going nuts right now. I was trying to find the right verbiage, but whatever.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I felt the stagger, and I was just like, you know what? Just let it rock. Just let it rock.
It is what it is. We'll edit it out in post. Here we go. We got Anchor Duelon too, which is something you don't see quite often, right? Duelon, one of the predominantly strong point characters, but see what Juan can do.
Yeah, there's been some bit of sentiment as we see Kim already put Duolon on the back foot, but there's been some underlying sentiment between Duolon as much as they've been buffed in these consecutive patches from the game, being more of an anywhere character because there's a little bit more stability that the character is afforded at every phase of the game. But right now, the neutral phase being dominated there as we call out the approach attempt, just a couple swift jabs right to the approaching Duolon. Try to do a little bit of a DP there to catch you trying to take your turn back, but no stealing happening today. Got to put that right back on the shelf that you found it, and jacking off is going to have to go to the mid, but Kim doing all the damage that they need for Krohnen McDougal to clean up potentially.
It can definitely happen. He's always that one hit away, right? He's still got massive damage, right? That's the thing Krohnen has always had for days. Just the frame data wasn't up to par, but getting opened up by the EX Rekkas. Anywhere juggle. I was going to say time to guess. He said, no, baby, back AB. Just roll.
Absolutely. Why guess when I don't have to?
I didn't do any of that. Looking for that big hit. That Farsi is now fully cancelable at any point during it, which really gave Krohnen a bit more juice, right, that he needed for his confirms. Oh!
It's good for the mix again. 0 for 2 so far. This time had the opportunity to confirm into making jacking off guess, but we're gonna settle back into this really nice range that you want to offer. No way! Oh my gosh! Oh yeah, I guess when you play Under Night, you're ready to challenge anything at any point when you have the meter to do it with a full screen punish. But we're gonna clean things up with a couple of swift bullets right to the chest, trying to reach through with the leg. I got something for you on the other end there. Jacking off gonna use that arsenal and artillery to go up 1-0 over Juan KOF.
My man, Krohnen McDougal, man. Back from his full-time fast food gig, right? He was using the drill arm to make McFlurries. Now he is back on the street shooting people. You love to see it, man. It's been a while. And we're going to see a character switch here for Juan. See who's going to bring out here. Juan, again, another character who can, another player who can run multiple characters in this game, right? And good to see what's going to happen here. But yeah, jacking off, busting off with that gun, doing a phenomenal job with the Krohnen. The Kim really was the tell of the story, right? He was really the character that did so much work. And it could possibly be that Juan is just not ready for that character. And again, Zoma, you know, Kim got the necessary changes he needs to be a top contender. That's another matchup people are going to have to get down.
Yeah, 100%. We were talking so much about it to lead off the block today, just how many characters are going to be evaluated in this current part of the game. Again, still early in the patch, but with characters like Kim, like Duolong, like Krohnen, that, you know, maybe you put to the wayside in terms of labbing against because you don't see a lot of tournament rep for them. Might have to open up that dream cancel a little bit, might have to ask for some long sets because we're going to have to be a little bit more familiar with some of them as we're getting a little bit familiar trying to put Kim into the mix and just saying, I want to talk to you real quick in this corner here. This is where Duolong can get something started, and this is what was missing in that first game, getting that momentum going, but unfortunately the side switch, but here we go.
Stun is imminent here too. If you live somehow, anything's gonna work. But yeah, this is why point Duolong is such a prime position for him. He excels at just fighting characters without resources, right? He gets away with all those safe pressure, relatively safe, I should say. Great normals is just there for harassment. That 6-beat, like that normal right there, it's just a disruptor. It's just there to piss you off, right? To throw you off of your game. And there's a well-placed stand CD. A lot of purple on the screen, man. Can't put down the cup. And David Blunt. There we go.
Shouts out Dave Blunt, and also shouts out to this amazing corner pressure now, keeping it real simple too, just going with the CDs here, catching the guard cancel roll on the other end, trying to take your turn back after the defense. Here comes the mix, and again, that opportunity that we went 0 for 2 in the first game, we're getting it already, trying to get the snowball going, and part of what you were saying as we get the swift kick right to the side of Krohnen, just being able to operate so well now in that neutral, like the 6B, the stomps, and just being able to pollute the screen as much as you can, and making a jacking off problem at so many parts of the screen can lead to what you can do, and without so much meter, and this is what you get with a point character.
For sure. And look, I like how he just runs away right after every like air to air like that. He's like, let me just create distance. I don't need to do too much. And yeah, just putting a cap, right? Really, you know, containing jacking off, right? Just like putting a cap on him, holding him off, make sure he doesn't be able to expel any of that energy, but he's trying to go crazy with this Heidern right now. He's got 3 bars. I mean, he can definitely net some big damage. There's a counter hit, nothing to come out, but still a prominent position for Juan KOF. We're on point still. We got so much characters to go through, so much time to waste here, and resources on the end.
Oh, sorry, a bit of a, they had me in the first half. I ain't gonna lie, going out with Duel on here. Very different story than what we got in game 1 here, because just the Duel on running absolutely wild. But Heidern can turn things around, has access to the quick max, even though it may not be the most efficient way to close out the character. It's better than not taking the character at all, and that is what's gonna happen right here. We just dash right through them and end things off with a level 1. So Juan KOF answering the call in very strongly with the OCV from Duel on.
Super Ghost Kamikaze attack for the dub. And yeah, like that perspective change, man, that's all you need sometimes. Yeah, character swap couldn't work out, right? And that's basically what we've seen, right? We saw Duel on Anchor last time, and we kind of thought about it. I was like, the Anchor Duel on, not sure if this is the way you want to go, but switching it up, putting Duel on point, obviously clearly working out. He's going to try to run that same game plan here. This is a nice 1-1 set here. Definitely gonna see who's gonna win this one, man. I'm interested in seeing how this tournament plays out. So many top contenders here, and I think this is definitely a top 8 quality matchup we're getting early.
100%. These are two characters that we may see predominantly in the top 8 and doing the point war right now, because we've seen both of them do so much mileage to start out their respective victories for each of these two competitors. Kim in game 1, Duolon game 2. Whiffing on the DP though is going to help Duolon get the advantage here, but we're just going to go right back into the well. The water not empty. We're going to reach the bucket right down in there. Last, you're going to have to dig me out if I put myself in there in a grave fashion. But here we go. It's going to be a grave reserved for Mr. Kim potentially here.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be an end to him. Yo, when you mention bucket, I'm just thinking of like the crabs in a barrel mentality, and I'm just expecting Kim to do the dive kicks back into the bucket. He's like, I'm going right back in there. I'm going back to what I know. Clearly, it didn't work out for him. Mr. McDougal back on the stage today. Just a 5 ace to harass. Why not?
Just unbelievably, just being a pest is just the best way you can describe it right now.
Ooh.
Oh, but here we go. Get a little bit of extermination happening right there. Just get on out of there and stomp on the bugs, why don't you? There you go. The OTG stomp. Don't matter what version of the game it is. We've seen that finish people off so many different times. And I'm sorry, I did not mean to allude to the username of the Krohnen user there by saying that. But here we go. We're going to divert away from that and get right into some O.Chris action here.
Double DP yet again. I love the commitments from Jacking Off. He does not care. He's gonna do what he wants to do, and clearly it is working out here. Oh, but that might be the worst time to hit that 2C. Big damage right here from Juan KOF. He decides to spend it all here. Oh, as they're bleeding. That's that O.Chris damage, man. Oh, and the command grab. This will definitely do it here for Krohnen. Taking us. No, not gonna spend more. Excuse me on that one, chat. But there it is.
You're just a little bit too early right there, but you still had the right idea. The sweep on the other end of the roll. So O.Chris coming in and just making quick work of Krohnen. Very, very strong performance from the mid there. But here comes Heidern, a little bit better at, contesting in the every range than Krohnen is in this version of the game. Heidern, a very strong character in their own right, potentially going to be sitting right where they were in the previous patch in this version. But O.Chris rising up on the tier list and putting down some damage here again.
Yeah, doing a phenomenal job, and I like the challenge. Nicely. Oh, that's so bad. Is he? Oh, I thought he was gonna push him into it. That would have been so funny. He just like pushed him right there. Nah, you're not escaping this blender, bro. He's just trying to keep things. Yeah, Jack needs to play as simple as can be, and he got it. Got him out of here. Killed O.Chris. He's gonna recover a decent amount of health. I believe we're like a little above 50%. I just want to make sure. Oh, a lot above 50%. But the lack of resources is gonna make everything matter, right? He's gonna have to get a lot of incremental damage to slow down this Isla.
Yeah, absolutely. But the difference, I think, between what we saw there with Krohnen versus the Heidern is that, again, just being able to populate the screen and represent yourself at more ranges than you could. And it seems like that has put Juan KOF, understandably, in more of a bind here in terms of how to approach Jack as they try to be a little bit more patient. And that patience can be pretty bad for you because that guard bar is going down now, but you got your offense started so you can do the taxing on their own guard bar.
Yeah, he noticed that quickly. He said, whoa, I don't get many chances like this. And still trying to hold on to that meter. He needs a big confirm to mount some type of damage, but Jack just staying on him. The pressure is on, forced to spin that meter, and this is tough. We got the corner. There's the uppercut.
Yeah, had the DP to get on out of there. That guard gauge was crying. Had the Hop CD just gonna run up with the Stormbringer. Not gonna be quite enough, but we're gonna throw that out there and then go over to the side switch. Some classic Heidern to finish things off here. So a really good, call response here on the set count here. Jack getting the first game, Juan getting. Right now, we're actually gonna see, a bit of a deterrent from the zoning practice that we've seen from Tricky. We get the one in Vice, but, can still sort of zone with that sleeve neutral, so we'll see if that's going to be what's going to be represented, or we're just going to run up there in 5C and get the Vortex going. But on the other side, yep, we've got Antonov, we've got Hinako, and we've got the Terry.
Oh yeah, point Antonov. B-sleeve would have worked there for sure. We got the sleeve in. And yeah, Vice, again, brand new to the game. A character that is still, I would say, still being developed. I think the consensus right now is that she is considered better than mature, right? But both characters still require a little bit more work than some others, right? Vice doesn't really have any safe specials, right? Only plus frame she really has is close A. And none of that matters right now because Antonov is putting in that work.
Yep, I do love that that Phanpy is operating with the Nav in this range of just keeping the Vice at bay, just being at a range where she can't get sleeve out immediately, but still at a range where she can, or they can rather, represent the 2C and all the big normals that they have. And as you see, it pays off right there, just making Vice sit down a little bit longer than they might otherwise want and getting the kill there with the point command grab.
Man, I cannot react to those command grabs, so I feel you, Eepy girl. I'm with you. I can't react. I just see him coming. I'm like, what's happening here? I don't know. Here we go. Another dual on to really tell you where he is at in terms of the balance. Keeping the pressure on. Gets the jump in. Super Ghost was helping him out. Let's see where we're going with this one here. Oh, and the bait on the DP. You can't get out of here. Hope you like this corner, homie. Look at it.
Get familiar with this mix, why don't you? I think we've all been familiar. We've seen the likes, we've seen so many dual-ons put people in the blender right after that exact touch, and you can be as familiar as you want. It's another thing to guess accurately when it's happening to you, and dual-on is getting the point war, or getting the point on out of there as we force the mid Hinako to come in, but Phanpy's Hinako can be very explosive, so we will see what happens there as we get that tech on the approach throw, and here we go. The Vortex might be upon us here, Rome.
The anywhere juggle. We're gonna get the full on confirm. One of her changes, she's able to now cancel into super. Okay, good blocks though, and blocking the overhead. I gotta give it up to Eepy girl's defense. It's looking real nice. Oh, trying to guard point through. Not today. And quickly as Hinako came in, it looks like she is going down.
Absolutely dominant performance from her dual-on right here. Eepy girl, Wakey world saying you need to wake up to this character because they are rising up to these near the top of these tier lists, and I'm showing you why right now. But here comes Terry, no stranger to being atop of the tier list, but that was a long time ago. This is a different version of Terry right around now, so we'll see how they fare right now. But right now, not faring too well against the dual-on, who's just been absolutely running away with it. But here's how we get it started, calling out a little bit too high on the jump there, so we throw them, get the Terry offense going, crack shoot, and getting that guard we're on down, but we guard cancel right at the right time here and jumping right over the fireball for a car out and then charging at the attempted crack shoot attempt. Here comes dual-on with all of this impressive offense.
Yeah, it's still mounting some damage, and this should be a dead dual-on. I like that we went for the EX cross-up. That was another universal change. Characters that have like, EX dash moves or like teleport moves, in the corner, they now cross up, and it wasn't like that before. So that means your defense has to be extra crisp right there. Fortunately for Phanpy, though, we still were able to close it out. Decent amount of bar. I mean, it's still going to be tough here to get to crack open Ash Crimson. Ash Crimson gonna, okay, there it is. No, not going to activate the Sand Squad. I think we could have there. And this is going to get ugly. Looking for that opening there. Terry doesn't have an overhead. That's going to be it. Off the soul back kick here. Don't need to do too much. Level 1 super. Eepy girl taking the first game. Looking real good doing it.
Yep, ran about even there. There were some moments where Eepy girl just really took an inch and ran a mile with your respective character, especially the dual-on and then the Ash to clean things up. But like you were saying, it's been very hard for Phanpy to sort of, outside of sitting at that mid-range with the Antonov, which is what they did really well to get things going, once the zoning archetype is right back into play, and again, Vice is a new character, so Eepy Girl may not be as, you know, accustomed to playing her as she is with, you know, Heidern or somebody else. But yeah, the dual on and Ash, definitely the archetype that they're best suited to play, and you saw the effect there. But you're seeing the effectiveness of the D sleeve there to catch them on out of the air, and then here's Vortex here, the grappler in Vice, but we answer right on back, rolling out of the attempted quote-unquote sweep, and here we go. Gore Fist after the sleeve, safe jump here, and we're just getting things going.
Another one mixing up the splash, and that's going to be it. What a change around. You just talked about how possibly Eepy Girl might be still getting acclimated to Vice, but we see the switching of the gears, right? The changing of the mind, and just mixing up those command grabs, varying them all of the options, using them all. That call out D anti-air sleeve was like paramount early on, really set the tone of that first point match. We're right back at it.
Yeah, unbelievable. But here we go, going all the way to the other corner. Giuna might want to look away from that corner carry on the command grab. We might have all seen the clip, but we all know what Vice can do if she gets anything started here. Look at all of the flashing yellow, but not enough to get that life bar all the way into the red, and some great guard point action to get out of harm's way, but not completely out of it. Just runs right into the stand B. An underrated normal on Vice's kit, I might add, and you see why, trying to curtail the approach from a rather desperate Hinako there, but the Vice already making up for what they didn't do in the first game.
You know, the presence of mind of her zoning style, right, is still there with Eepy Girl. Playing, like you said, Phanpy might be getting a little desperate, trying to open things up, but Eepy Girl just has that counter every time. Right back to full screen, gets clipped both by the stand D. We're gonna go into a full-on climax. Still some decent health though on Vice, but look at that. We had to expend all of our money right there just to try to get close to taking down this point. Phanpy's got a tall order ahead of them. The big whiff, that is not what we need to see. We're gonna go right into the SDM. Please, me next, Vice. I'm begging you right now. Ugh. Sorry, child.
I know Terry wishes that was not him right now, because that was a lot of damage stalling that comeback effort. We spent all that meter, and now we are losing a lot of health in return. So even if Vice goes down, do not have a lot to play with on your own end. EX Gore Fist to call out the string from Phanpy. Eepy Girl Wakey World. I was there talking down about them not being used to playing Vice quite yet, but shut me on up with
through this one here. Meitenkun on point versus K-Dash. Interesting matchup here. I mean, obviously K-Dash is going to want to throw those iron triggers. He's got to watch the dash punch from Meitenkun, but Meitenkun also wants to play a bit more reserved game, and you have access to flash kick. It's really going to come down to who is going to control the spacing better, who's going to be able to mount the life lead and then play as annoying as possible.
100%. Yeah, like you mentioned, that flash kick, K-Dash being awarded one of the best safe jumps in the game, as you're going to get off of this DP right there, and that's how you can get started. Like you said, is you get that momentum going, and then throwing out that iron trigger to curtail that dash punch. But there you go, the dash punch on the other end. It's really going to be about which of them are going to be able to represent their burst option, as we are bursting on with a rate of 11 here. So appreciate y'all tuning into some KOF action here. Right now we've got the jostle in neutral, whiffing on the DP, little recovery, but not a punish, but we still get started.
Wow, looking at that trade combo, I wonder if he had time to hit that EX minute spike. You know, VK's got to be thinking about that, and the trade on the CDs there, but still just walking him down, and that was good. He was slightly out of range. Yurikov might have been trying to mash throw there. Fortunately for him, he's going to live a little longer. Sneaks in the overhead. Nothing yet. And the throw, great spacing right there from ViolentKain. I guess he was expecting that, because he had the throw attempt on deck to punish the command normal from Yurikov.
Yeah, we alluded to the burst options being so key in terms of trying to seize momentum in the point war there, and VK being so much more aware, as we are being made aware of the loving arms of Blue Mary in that real counter and getting started on offense, whiffing the CD, going into the low, and then baiting out the DP. This is how Blue Mary can get K-Dash out of here and in a hurry. We'll walk back, go into the slicer and into the level 1 to finish things up. So as much as I was about to talk about how K-Dash was getting things started, Blue Mary putting an end to that quick, fast, and in a hurry, drawing out Mr. Yagami and saying, Zoma, I got other characters that need to be talked about right now.
She said, brother, the Ness saga was like 30 years ago, man. It's over. You're done. Put a cap in it. You are no longer that dude in high school. Iori still, Iori still be telling the war story. He's like, yo, I was the man in 98, bro. He's still trying to run it back here. Gets anti-aired from Blue Mary and trying to find a cross-up, but doesn't get it. We trying to punish that? You're crazy.
Yeah, not as crazy as that reaction with the anti-air ADP there from Iori, and then just running up. Scum Gale gonna get. Oh, I was about to say, missing out on the Scum Gale quick max conversion. That would have been huge for VK, but we still do have Blue Mary in the corner trying to fight their way on out of there.
I wanted to see him bust off that stun combo we saw on Twitter.
Yeah.
I know that's been going around. I believe that was Bala that hit that one. Yeah. Ooh. This is a good counter conversion. Not going to spend any extra resources. I don't know if you play with your food, VK. Should have been a dead Mary and all the way to the corner. This is where she gets dangerous. Leading out the roll, one up throw.
And knowing how dangerous that she was going to be in the corner, just immediately rolling on out of there, trying to reset into neutral. But here we go, getting on in there with the JB, chasing him down, knowing that VK was opting to retreat, sensing the danger that Blue Mary was going to put them in. And unfortunately, Yurikov was just smart enough to take advantage of knowing that game plan as we throw on out of there. Blue Mary just dusting off the hands and getting Iori Yagami on out of there.
Don't play with your food, chat. We saw it right there. He had a chance. EP confirmed into at least Maiden Masher, right? Maiden Masher OTG, I think, would have been enough, but all the work is on kill. Should be able to wrap things up here, though. Still not enough. Pixel left, trying to preserve as many resources as he can. But again, the chip out from the Rainbow Energy Dynamite Kick gonna close it down.
The full government name, Rom. How about that?
Yeah, we call those, baby. We look at the move list sometimes, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, just sometimes. Well, it's all red kick. The red hair on the part of O.Chris now coming in. The newly represented anchor here from Yurikov, but looking already like a good pick right here. Getting the plus frames there. The challenge from VK, ill-advised as we now get started here. More plus frames, but we're just going to bust on out of there. Shatter Strike saying plus frames are just a state of mind. I don't have to block if I don't want to. I am Kyo. I'm the poster boy, or I would like to think so. Capcom doesn't seem to think so.
Oh, no one else seems to think so, but you know what? Kyo fighting for his right now to take over. Burn the little boy. He said, you took my powers, homie. You trying to be like me? Looking for the opening. I mean, we're still at a great position here if we get the solid confirmed either or. Yurikov fishing, and he gets clipped on the dome. Overhead's gonna do it. ViolentKain unscathed. Gonna close out this last matchup here. Yurikov, I already know he has hit member select in his mind, or at least order select.
Yeah, definitely. The Blue Mary was the one that was putting in the most work, but once, you know, ViolentKain got going, especially with the KO to close things out, even with their back against the wall, just absolutely running through it. I expected more. You left me cold. What a thing to say. What a thing to say.
Oh, we're gonna lock it in. Never mind. Yurikov usually will switch his order, winning or losing, right? He's that type of player. He'll just switch things up to keep you on your toes, but he believes in this order here. I mean, to be honest, it was definitely close towards the end. ViolentKain going to be able to spend all those resources to get that big damaging combo here as we go right into this next matchup.
Yeah, here we go. The Meitenkun again jostling for position here. K-Dash did a little bit better to get things started in the first round. But right now, again, just trying to sit at a respectful range on the part. And the EX Fireball going through the Fireball attempt from K-Dash. So Yurikov trying to pollute the screen early and often this time around rather than trying to represent burst options.
Yep, and it's definitely working, right? He has the corner just slowly moving over, right? A wall is Meitenkun just closing out the stage, closing it off, making it harder for K-Dash to get out. There's a counter hit, but the minute spike, because of how slow the counter hit is, actually moved forward a little bit more. This is a good change for ViolentKain. The corner is in. If we can bait out those uppercuts, might be going to the next round, Zoma.
Yep. Oh, well, yeah. But how about we go to the next round with a bit of a jump CD? Oh, but not enough, quite enough to get the job done here. And calling out the dash. Well, not calling out, but just not doing anything. Being very patient here. And then again, taking a page out of what Yurikov was trying to do early in the round. Of just, you know, sitting back and polluting the screen rather than just threatening the burst option and just slowly approaching, using that in the back of their head. But there you go. K-Dash once again winning the point war. The Blue Mary was the one that was doing all the work for Yurikov and is already off to a good start to do that here in game 2.
Nice hop right over the sweep. That Mary sweep is a premier button from her. Surprised Yurikov didn't opt to go for the anywhere juggle. I think that would have been enough if not had him at a pixel, but still, even K-Dash a little longer to live. And there is the Ronaldo special, the clipping of the minute spike, catching her from coming down. Oh,
but here we go, the DP, huge here. Nice roll on response to the advanced strike, trying to catch them, looking for a throw, but nothing doing. Yurikov was just a bit ahead there. So Iori is going to have to pick up what K-Dash was doing.
Yeah, he's gonna have to. I mean, he's got all the resources to make it work, right? It's about getting that opening, that big confirm. ViolentKain not biting on the frame trap, and that's a nice bust out there. OTG stays in front of fake taco, bro. There's nothing I hate more than a fake taco. Give me the real deal if you're gonna give it to me, bro. I love me some tacos, but of course, thwarting that one as ViolentKain is on set point between him and Yurikov. That is a mighty, mighty hefty young man right there. 5 bars, he can go to town.
If you wanted the cornflower tortilla on that taco, he gave you a little bit of tofu and saying that was a little bit better for your health, but hard to see that when you got the health bar going down. But that's what's happening to Iori right now. O.Chris coming in, but we are just busting right on out again, challenging, even though they paid the price mightily the last time they challenged O.Chris with Kyo, might be feeling a little bit more liberal in doing so, being up a character right now. And this is what it affords you, just getting started here. Now you're gonna have to be a little bit aware of Yurikov trying to get on out. And there you go. That guard bar was going on out of here, so we got a reversal to stop things from getting really bad.
He's got to spin. I'm looking at his meter. I understand he wants to get that big hit. Oh, taking a big hits right there. Checking the slide. One too many, sir. ViolentKain gonna take this one 2-0 over Yurikov. That was a tale of like just the right spacing. I mean, we saw it even earlier in the game, right? The very first match, blowing up the dash punch goes on, but we're about to get some more action here. Sombra rocking. Oh, I was gonna say no more Fatal Fury. Geese is on the bench, man. He's gone, but we got Dolores instead here. Another character that's just really strong at controlling space. So we'll see how it works out. Sombra, one of the funniest players I like to watch, and not because he's bad. He's an incredibly talented player, but his commitment to do things, like I've seen him do Terry stand CD 5 times in a row. Like he just did it and it eventually worked. And I think that's crazy. When you're that much of a gangster that you can play your game and it doesn't matter. But of course, Kula, he is him, bro. He is Kula. So he might not let that happen as we get the duel on coming in first.
Talk about he is him. Kula definitely building up the pedigree. Got first at the Torneo de la Honestidad recently, and second at the most recent TNS. So the results definitely back up what you are saying about the strength of the player. But Sombra definitely saying, I'm not one that goes out lightly. Don't care about your recent results. We're playing right now. The duel on right now is putting Joe in a bit of a bind that they're just going to roll on out of after putting them in the mix.
Oh, he's chasing that tornado, man. Chasing down. We're going to get blown up for his troubles. Super, actually, no, regular desperation move as we get the closing there from Kula's duel on. Going right into the Dolores. So I want to see what the Dolores looks like. Again, a newer character for him, but a strong character in her own right. Great presence of mind that controls the screen. She's got those ground pillars. Stand D, not what it used to be, but still a solid normal. You see it getting stuck out right there for a preemptive anti-air. There's a trade. Too far, but you know what? We take those automatically. We got those? Yeah, we do. That is her optimized 3-bar combo.
Ooh, but missing on the command grab conversion right there. That was a little bit tough and a little bit unoptimal here. So this is how Duelon is going to be able to get started, putting Dolores into the corner. But here we go, fighting our way on out, using our big old buttons, big old specials, and then just going right to the heel, to the head. Dolores looking very clean, looking very pristine right there, getting Duelon out of there. I think we got 2 characters with some massive drip on the screen right now, but the drip battle going to Dolores. And Rio, not necessarily one that's concerned with drip, just coming out there with the gi, the bare feet, just saying, I'm all about just throwing out some karate.
I thought about it for a second. I said, there's no way you're talking about Rio dripped out.
No.
My man, toes out, sun's out, guns are out too, and right now he's getting put in the coffin there. Gotta watch his face. And Rio still, I mean, this is like the prime position for Dolores. She gets so much mix opportunity and plus frames in the corner. There's a jump beat and the hesitation to bait out a DP, but caught Kula lacking. This should be it. Yep, we're gonna get the final there with the Anywhere Juggle EX coffin and Sombra, like his name, the shadow, casting, I should say, a shadow over the eyesight of Kula as he's coming in with his anchor character.
Unbelievable. We might have had a little bit of questions about the ability of the new Dolores here from Sombra. We're not necessarily a character that we see a lot from them, but right now looking like they've been playing them since launch, as this character is just absolutely doing work. But here comes somebody who has been doing work for probably the better part of a year now in Mr. Nikaido. We're talking about Benimaru of Kula right now. Dolores just marking him into the corner. Eepy, in response to the guard cancel, going for the right Jinken, recovered in time enough to punish. My God, man.
Hey, that was fair, bro. That was fair and honest. You know what I'm saying? He didn't leave the ground too far. Let's not get too hasty, guys. It was a very fair and honest character. Right now, he's got to deal with the plus frames. There's another throw attempt there from Sombra. 2 bars. Empty jump is going to get thwarted by the anti-air attempt. There it is.
The 2E, very good at trip guarding, one of the best characters at doing so, and converts into a massively crucial kill there to get rid of Dolores, and with a fair bit of health to get back as well, as Sombra now gonna bring out Mr. Bogard, the character that we definitely know the most from them right now, with 3.5 bars to boot.
Yeah, this Terry does not care. Again, great spacing from Kula. You know how to thwart those burn knuckles, and that's what you have to do. Terry players will burn knuckle, counter hit, confirm, and he's gonna go right into the climax, so leaving him with the bar. So still in a proper position. We could exercise that EX crack shoot overhead. We can get a run up low, we can get a run up throw, devious position, needy fireball instead. Let's see how we're gonna close this one out. There it is.
Crack shoot. Here comes another one. Going for the command grab. Unfortunately, out of range. If this was Rock of Southtown, that probably would have worked. But this is just the, you know, the fair and honest Benimaru Nikaido. So definitely didn't get the command grab range that you would want. And that is going to be Sombra taking it in game 1 with Terry to finish things out. And we're going to go to order select on the part of Kula, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. The Duolon and the Benny were doing work, but the Duolon was definitely the MVP for them until Dolores and Terry put a stop to it.
Point Rio, okay. Wonder what the option there, because the Duolon was handling Joe fairly well, right? I would have kept running that playset there, that playbook, if you will. Rio on point, I mean, it's going to be still solid for him, right? He has parry, so he nullifies tornadoes. He's still got a strong fireball. It's not as plus frames as it used to be. You got to be a little more precise in your spacing on the screen. And we know Kula has that in spades, right? Definitely one of the best players when it comes to being at the right place at the right time. Let's see what we can do, though. Maybe it's just a momentum shift, right? Rio does push out a lot more damage than Duolon, right? Consistently. Maybe that's the ideal. Let's just put big damage out on the board. So by the time Terry comes in, if we're still on point Rio, we're in a proper position.
Yeah, that could be the case as well, because like you said, Duolon and Benimaru were definitely doing the most work, so it was just a matter of, if Rio goes down, I'm not going to put myself in a bind, because the person that wasn't necessarily doing the most work for me is going to be going out first. But right now, Rio looking like they are just going to clean, okay, not looking like, going to absolutely clean up Joe Higashi right there in short order, getting full health back and forcing the Dolores to do a little bit more work than she had to do last time.
Oh yeah, and of course, chat, I see the big nerf neon lights right there. I mean, this is a nerfed Rio. He got toned down. EX punches, pushes out. Fireball isn't as plus. His jump B doesn't cross over as often as it used to. Actually, I don't even know if it does cross over anymore. I haven't seen it. So the man's hurting right now. This is just proper play, and that's a great max mode off the far D. Not gonna get much damage. Gonna go for a reset here. Okay.
Oh, trip guard once again with the 2B. Saw Benimaru do it and just said, you know what, I want a little bit of that for myself, and take a page out of the book right there. And some couple of pillars, and then go right into the sweep after putting Kula right into the corner, trying to find a way on out of there. The wall that is Dolores, erected of sand and mud, stands strong as bricks, as we are now forcing Duolon to come on out of there. And again, like we were saying before, Duolon doing a lot of work against the Joe, but the Dolores made very short work of them in game 1. So we will see how it plays out here. But right now, just jostling for position on.
For sure. Yeah, Sombra's Dolores, right, has been the X factor for him in this set so far. You see Kula taking a slower approach. And this, you know what, we were talking about the point war of switching Rio to point. That character switch might have been for this matchup here. Duolon having access to that that stomp that goes to the ground. He can hit her from full screen. Of course, Dolores in your grill right now, in your face, live and in color as she gets the trip and all the way to the corner, and he's rolling out, baby. No, don't want to deal with any of those punch frames. I want out of this one, getting away from Auntie D as she's trying to come in, but getting destroyed. And there's that corner cross up yet again.
Unbelievable. We're trying to go on out of their reversal level 1. You might have thought maybe just a bit of a misinput there or something. I'm not quite sure, but what I do know is that it's going to put you in a very tough position for the chip. Kula getting rid of Dolores, and like you said, the Duolon might have been specifically for that matchup, and if that was the case, it paid off in spades, as now Terry is going to have to go through 2 characters as opposed to 1.
100%. And real quick, as a Dolores main, I want to call out, I think that was supposed to be command grab super, but because she went, because the Duolon went on the other side, she ended up getting the other super instead. So that was a little bit, was an input error for sure, but I like the idea of what Sombra was trying to do. Kin, back to Terry Bogard. And if we can just get that one solid hit, there it is, a rising tackle, man. That's the pleasure of having Rising Tackle be a DP input, right? In older games, it was a flash kick. You might not have had as much time to get that to come out, but we got it there. And we're onwards and upwards to the anchor matchup.
Yeah, a bit of old head neutral there. I'm going to throw Fireball. I'm going to throw Fireball again, and then you're going to jump, and I'm going to DP it. But right
old
now,
head neutral.
Here we go. The Far D, you know, that's old head tactic as well. Every Terry that you ever know is going to throw that on out there, especially when we've got 2 bars in the back for it to become a very damaging combo. So that's why you're seeing Kula probably operate more at a respectful range here, and still calling out these jumps, though, with these air throws. 2 for 2 on those right now.
And that's the Benny special. That big old jump C, or you're going to eat that throw. And Sombra's going to take a more grounded approach. I mean, he's got all the bar, both of them actually. Can't throw fireballs from that far, too. Yep. Benimaru with that full screen climax is going to eat a throw. Blocking the cross up, that was crucial because he definitely would have been put on a t-shirt. Woo. Oh, bad roll is going to get punished here. This won't be enough, but he's going to spend the extra bar. What am I saying? I am a terrible liar, guys. That was exact amount of damage to close it out as Kula takes it. Actually, no, bringing us to 1-1. I apologize, guys. It's been a long day for me already. I've been doing commentary earlier. We're waking up to get more into this matchup here. It is a 1-1. Crazy set so far between these two, Zoma.
Yep. What else can you expect with a deep bracket now that we're in top 8 qualifiers? Already putting up just absolute fireworks and absolute bangers. Shouts out to Seamus of matches so far. Kula now taking it to a game 3, and like you were saying, like it's just the back and forth between these two. And it's been a variety of characters that have been doing the damage. And this set alone, the Rio, we thought, you know, put him at point because he didn't get anything going in that first game. Then all of a sudden, that point where it ended up being crucial because it established the momentum early. But right now, maybe it might be Joe's turn to get something started as we're just being a little bit more pestering and neutral with these fireballs, forcing an overcommitment into the trip guard, which has been back and forth as in terms of how they're operating in terms of catching the other opponent.
For sure. And you know, you mentioned already, like the Joe he's doing better. He's actually doing much better this game. He's got sizable health lead, and this is what we need. I mean, Joe has died to both Rio and Duolon at the start of both point wars there. But you can see that Kula slowing down the pacing of things. He's right out of range. There's a slide. We haven't seen any big damage from Joe, just straight hits, which, speaking of straight hits, never mind. I was gonna fix my mouth to say something else. Doesn't even matter. The boy is dead. Back to Fatal Fury.
I mean, you were half right. You were talking about straight hits and then big damage, but the big damage is going to come off the straight hit of one Rio Sakazaki, broad shoulders and all, and just going to get Joe on out of there. Dolores once again coming in, having to clean up what Joe couldn't. Going to be the last time we see Joe in this set, but Dolores has been the one that has been picking up the slack for sure, and we'll see if they can do it again here. It's been very strong at this point.
Yeah, I'm highly, like, really satisfied with seeing this play, and again, anti-air low. I mean, you can tell both these players here are phenomenal O2 players, and that's like such an O2 thing you have to have. That's just an old school tactic, is being aware, because anti-air lows, yes, you can do it, but it's one of those KOF skills you have to learn, right? It's something you have to get acclimated to your opponent's jump arc, the timing they like to jump, which jump they use, right? Because you can't do it too early if they full jump, and you can't do it too late if they short hop, right? So it's like, it's such a great presence of mind of a tactic to have, as we see it get used right there yet again, all the way to the corner.
Yeah, ask for the, say the devil's name, and he will appear right there. The trip guard leading to all of this momentum for Duolon, as we've got this corner offense going in spades right now, forcing the guard cancel expenditure to get on out of harm's way and reset back to neutral. Whoa. Don't disagree with it as well, but that was going to be a dastardly way to pollute the screen and catch Dolores on the back foot. But great back throw there, and great cross up as well with the JB. Going to go right into the other end, and Sombra fighting back right now. Going to go for something a little bit tricky here. Going to be able to block the guard cancel blowback, but not going to do anything with it.
He's trying to run up in space. Got to be careful again. That 6B. Just such a paramount normal for Dualon, and gonna trade with the anti-air. I did like the adjustment there from Dolores. Of course, didn't have the health to make that comeback there, and we're down to the Anchor Terry. If anybody could do it, it is definitely Southtown's Hungry Wolf. Despite the meter deficit here, it's definitely possible closing style in rather fast fashion.
100% could just really go for some EX offense rather than going for the full super, because Dualon does not necessarily have a lot of bar to work with on their end, or a lot of health I should say, but we're gonna have enough bar to convert off of this trip guard, potentially go into a super, but no, just gonna go for the tried and true mix right now. But as I was saying, Sombra could build a good amount of bar if they're a little bit efficient with how they use it offensively. So not impossible, but it's still going to be very tough to go through right now. Whiffing the CD going into the fireball, but this time we're punishing it, but not in time to not get hit by the anti-air 5C. The second time we've seen it, it was ready both times.
Bro, he's definitely got headsets on, and he's hearing that extra oomph on counter hits, and he's like, it's go time, baby. Sound direction goes a long way, guys. You gotta really appreciate it, because obviously visual cues are great, but that sound, I think we, naturally humans react faster to sound than they do to visual, right? So, and you see Sombra right there showing his prowess with that, bringing us down to this anchor match, but he is bleeding Zoma. I don't know if he can make this comeback, getting harassed by the EX lightning slashes. Anything we do
earlier. We saw earlier that they were playing so respectful of the burst options, but again, Far D into max mode is off the table, but not a DP into the power, guys. Are insane disrespect from
Give me another DP!
Do it again!
As you shall receive. Kula's gonna bust out one. I know it's coming. Oh, the jump right over the right time. Sombra with the bait, playing with this food, and then finally eating it up. Kula is gonna go down to the loser side there.
I was like, are we sure this is an anime convention, or is this really just like, is this Otaku in disguise?
It's a front, yeah. That's all it was. Yeah, but yeah, we got RINO and Shadow X, and I gotta bring this up only because he told me earlier, and I'm sorry, Colt, you're my boy, but I'm about to bury you. In the words of Colt MX, famous KOF commentator Colt MX, he said Shadow X was robbed by RINO at AnimeCon. He said that was Shadow X's game to win. But you know what? RINO is the qualified player. Shadow X is going to try to do so at the next tournament coming up next month. But here we go. These two gladiators, these TNS legends, are going to throw it down here for yet another TNS.
And in top 8 qualifiers, no less. Once again, speaking to the depth of this bracket, we've already got something that could be winter finals, grand finals this early, and we're going to see some sparks fly between the two right now, as we're already letting them go with the Iron Trigger, pushing Heidern into the corner, trying to catch that 2A, but a generously high hitbox on that, going to prevent the jump in here. Here we go. We started with the 5C on the other end, gonna go straight into the full thing, and that full thing is gonna be the whole thing as we get Heidern on out of there. K-Dash already looking very good to start this game.
He said only one man can have a tight-ass jumpsuit in this matchup, and it's gonna be me.
I'm saying.
Not you, bro. Here we go. O.Yashiro letting it flow. Ooh, we could've got 6B. This is still a good change. Not another missed opportunity for big damage from RINO. Usually really good at capitalizing off those, but we'll see. Fighting out with that uppercut.
We were trying to press there off of the side double. Oh my gosh.
Get tossed around like a dirty, bad habit, man. And again, mistiming his jumping. And one of these characters, K-Dash, so good at just throwing up those mistimed jumps. The double hitting confirmable close heavy punch is definitely going to do the trick. And speaking of confirming, we are confirming into command grab. Enjoy drinking and eating out of a straw for the rest of your life. You're done.
There are so many moves in this game that feel like they really hurt, but I think O.Yash has the most per capita. Like, all of them just feels like if I get hit by that, even when I'm just playing the game, I get hit by that and I just go out in real life.
It's also mental damage too, right? Because his command grab goes on for so long, so it's like, oh my god, not only does this look painful, I have to watch this movie for so long. And that was a great check with the 2C. Speaking of long movies, double feature possibly coming up if we guess correctly.
But we bust on out of there and then bust out on the approach attempt from O.Yash. Now going into the empty jump low after the fact. Full cinema going on right here. Movie combo on the other end. OTG not going to be enough to kill. Whoa, what a good double layer setup there. So calling out the roll on the fireball and then just running behind it with the 2B. So that was such advanced think that was like 2 steps ahead thinking there from Shadow X on a very good setup there.
Shadow X is known to just play with that just almost like a mad scientist like mindset, right? He's already thinking about his next move after his next move, and he's trying to keep it going here. But we got RINO with the rare appearance on Ash. I know he's been more so playing double Yash sometimes than Heidern, but always fun to see his Ash Crimson. Jobber's not here to curse him, but there is the jump into the EX Scum Gale, caught him lacking. And there's a 5C.
Yeah, caught him lacking on the other end right there. The jump not going to be able to confirm into anything as RINO on the other end had the 5C ready. But here comes Clark. And even though he has 1.5 bars only to their name, while Ash has the 5, what equally one touch can turn into a win condition for either of these characters.
Easily. Constant state of flux that he can put you in, as well as Ash Crimson can get the Sans Clout combos, upload them to TikTok, get all of the followers and views. Let's see if he got those. You already know RINO is fishing. We're gonna have to play this as patient.
Ash players want one thing, and it's disgusting. And we already jumped over it, calling it out, going into the EX command grab, putting them into the corner. Vortex time. Again, that 2B. Shadow X very confidently playing around it. Got the 5C, but nothing to do there. And then just jumping in over the 2B again. Look at what Shadow X is doing, knowing that RINO is representing that 2B so much with Ash. And I understand why, because the 2B hits, you get the pink bar glowing, and then that's just curtains for Clark. But Shadow X, even with the bar deficit, knew that they just had to keep the game plan rolling and was very effective in employing it. And that was a very, very strong, if not elementary, game plan from Mr. Clark still.
Academic indeed, and you called it out at the start of that round. You know, it's even if there is a meter deficit, it's still almost a win condition depending on who gets the first play that's going to work out in their case. With Clark, it was the constant state of the mix right there, getting those right jump ins, right? That jump A, I mean, it's just one of the most annoying normals to deal with, right? It has so much hit stun. The minute he gets in, you gotta deal with Argentinian backbreaker, which we saw. And of course, RINO said, I am going to character select. I need another arrogant, dumb gorilla O.Yashiro on my team.
Yes, if one didn't work out, what's better than one Yashiro? Two. So we got the normal one coming on in there. Big Hulk and normal, just like the other one, but not of the grappler fashion, but just can throw down with the best of them with their very generously strong and rangy normals that lead into some pretty good scenarios, if not damage corner carry. But K-Dash on the other end is not short in either of those departments in their own respect. But respectfully, you got to hold this JC. I'm just going to run up. I had enough of you getting started. It's time to sing some of the CYS blues.
Yeah, start getting them in here. He had to bust out that DP just to contain him, right? Slow him down. There's the slow overhead. A little bit worse for wear than it was in 0-2. But yeah, again, I like that Shadow X commits to the heavy DP. Again, calling out those missed moves by RINO. Just checking them every time. Oh, the lingering effect. Don't smell my shoe, homie. Hold that flame.
Hold this 5B, trying to commandeer the space after the end of the block string there. I like the response there, but a better response here from Shadow X. Now ushering them into the corner, going to reinforce that with a guard cancel expenditure. I love what they're doing right now, just making sure to keep them on the defensive end as much as possible, regardless of the resources that need to be spent, because what happens when you don't keep them on the back foot? Exactly that. Yashiro gets started, just gets to come on in there with the aerial button, and then that's curtains for any character, especially when they are at a dire situation like K-Dash was. So here comes Mr. Yagami, and I'm pretty adept on lore here. I'm pretty sure these two don't really like each other that much.
Yeah, they hate each other. Apparently, Iori bumped CYS on a show. I think they were promoted for a show, and then they got kicked off last minute. Yuri came in and performed. Of course, we still haven't heard music from both sides, either the CYS band or Yuri. Would like to hear that, and hopefully in the future. But regardless, Yashiro going down as Heidern is coming in here, locked and loaded with all the meter we can do. RINO's Heidern, I remember when he first picked up this character, and it was almost like a sudden change from the style of play he wanted to do, but he has truly become one of the most, I think, dangerous Heiderns in the game as we're going to get that full conversion. Are we going into the EX spinning blade? No, we're going right into the climax, baby. I want all your money, hands in the pocket, go to hell. Or, you know, the PG version, HFI, I can't say that one.
Yeah, nothing PG about that damage, though. Definitely took a healthy amount of blood off of Iori with the blood red hair. Now trying to see blood as they're trying to find their way to commandeer some sort of space in neutral, but now that you have such a dominant lead as RINO, just sitting back, and that is what Heidern is so good at as well, just creating space and then, oh my gosh, curtailing approaches with a manner, or a myriad of manners, I should say, like a guard point with the stinger. Unbelievable stuff. And a big salute as Clark still comes in as Iori, not necessarily one to support the troops as much as one Clark is gonna bow out here.
I wish, I was just thinking, like, man, I should have studied at Heidern in school. I broke my fingers. I didn't have guard point on them. I wish I did, right? You just protect them like you saw him do right there. And there's the standing low. He doesn't commit to a max mode, though. RINO in a prime position, but yeah, ShadowX just trying to play catch up here, catch the leader. Oh, that's not going to activate. Normally he would. Prize there. But again, here we go. And catching him here, this will definitely do it. RINO quickly getting us to game 3. And there it is, the EX suck for the extra damage, the mental damage. I got to make you watch this movie yet again as we move on to game 3.
Dude, one of my favorite things about Grand Blue is that when you get hit by super and it kills, it won't do the full cinematic if it's just gonna kill you. But in this game, they make sure that you know you messed up. There's like, you know what? This isn't even a super, this is just a special. So I just want you to sit here and watch as we drain away your life bar. Your life bar is gone, but you got to know like what Heidern did to you. And RINO definitely made ShadowX painfully aware of how effective the Heidern was, especially when they got that early life lead in the round. It could just have been one touch, even if they used guard cancel to get them away or roll away, try to create space. It didn't really matter because RINO was just so content to just sit back and just say, all right, you got to come to me. And my character has a lot of ways to punish you for trying to do so in the wrong fashion.
Absolutely. Definitely took advantage of that too. Got us here to this third game. What a turnaround right there. That was, again, just I'm always highly impressed at how these players are able to expand this game into new ways. Like, that was a botch DP, but I wanted to bring up that little space in the corner that ShadowX knew and had the anti-air ready. Regardless, gotta have the anti-air ready this time, and he gets the full jump in. Breaking his legs, EX minute spike, full on conversion, but drops the 1-inch punch.
5B gonna lead into some pretty good positioning here for RINO. Got the Yashiro, couldn't convert it off of the big jump, or the jumping K dash, I should say. Now we're just gonna sit back, throw out some normals, and throw out a jet punch because it's gonna be just enough to get some chips, enough to get rid of ShadowX's K dash. And now Iori's gonna have to come on in. And this is a really good spot for RINO right now. About the same as we got in game 2, but I think a little bit more generous in terms of the health and meter department.
For sure. And like Chips Enough, the president of damage right now, Yashiro mounting some big offense here. Caught him in 4K. That's the 4K cam when you get caught by the bench strike and getting caught by the frame trap here. Like I just said at the start of the round, president of damage. Gonna put him out here with the overhead pixel left, but you can't block anything. And there's the blowback into GP. All right, fighting back is ShadowX, but at what point, right? Eventually Chip is coming, if not a shoulder tackle in the form of a stand CD.
God, yeah, the blowback right there to finish things off there. And Yashiro just looking like he cannot be stopped right now. The most momentum I believe we've gotten from the point Yashiro so far for RINO. But here we go, trying to get him on out of there. A couple of quick 2As. They're going to lead into the command grab. Not going to go into a super. And that's going to give RINO some time to get some more damage done to Clark. And a lot of bonus extra credit here for the point character right now. ShadowX is gonna have to figure out a way to get out of jail.
For sure, he finds his way out. Had to spend resources to do it, but RINO is just playing on fire right now. Everything is working. The plus frames, come on, bro. You press the button, you know that's plus. And they made it better because he sticks closer to you. No more pushback, but we are pushing forward as RINO with a dominant 2-0 and an OCV to close things out over ShadowX.
100%.
It was a tough one as we have Lokof. First stream of the day for Lokof, his match, I should say, coming up to the stage, bringing that Gato. So I know he's been swapping back to Gato, but I haven't seen much of him play. And I'm very excited to dive into this one to see the changes. I know Gato pretty much got all of his stomp variations, all got some type of buff, whether it builds meter, whether the stomp keeps you closer to him, making it easier to combo. He can now break the stomp as well too, so he has a bit of that like Garo Mark of the Wolves like little feint, and that's a solid whiff punish with that 2C.
Unbelievable crouch right underneath it and getting the full trade combo here as well. Going to be a lot of damage done to the life bar of Joe. and now we're just keeping him in the corner. And again, the moving wall that is Gato in this version of the game, and stun could be imminent here, if not death. But here comes the stun. Yep, here we go. Gonna get the DP to build a little bit more meter, and then another DP just to finish the job. A flurry of kicks. Either variety is gonna help you out there, as Gato wins the point war. And like you were saying, very key to zone in on him as he's making it known to the audience he is not one to be trifled with anymore.
Not at all. And I like opting to go for the DP. I believe DP is his best meter gain move, and that's so important. Ending rounds after a stun with your best meter gaining move to just take more resources into the next round. And another excellent uppercut. Not the best uppercut. He goes for the parry and it still works out even after the next one activation. Sombra kind of flailing and Lokof taking advantage of every inconsistency.
Here we go, the moving wall once again pushing Dolores into the corner here, in a very familiar spot that Sombra has found themselves in to this point. And look at just this heavy of block pressure that they're putting it on, but found a way to bust on out of there, getting the level 1 as well. But the trip guard on the other end, we've seen that being employed so much. This is Lokof's first dream, but he's been seeing how it's paid off for everybody else that we've talked about, and just says, you know what? This is some action that I want in on.
He said, I've been waiting for this one, right? I'm about to make a name for myself. Hit him with the whole gambit line. Terry Bogard. A little bit of a peek into the future here between some City of the Wolves characters. Gato's redesign, by the way. I don't know whoever designed that on SNK, but give that guy all of the money.
Yep, and give Sombra all of the flowers as well, putting Gato into a checkmate after the DP into power, gather the fireball into the rally knuckle, finished off. But here we go. I'm gonna try to be as unbiased as I can because my favorite character is currently on the screen and on my favorite player as well, with the Yamazaki as well. But here's the tough part too. The overwhelming onslaught of offense that Sombra represents with Terry against a character with a defense that's not as good as Yamazaki's, as I say, the parry to get on out of there could be a bit of a dangerous situation, but that's what makes these offensive stretches so critical. Get all the damage you can after that stand CD, get the poison on them as well, build some meter back as well. Sombra now in a tough spot.
And another counter hit conversion. Sombra, I'm telling you, but he's got the headphone speakers turned all the way up because he is reacting every single time to that counter hit. And there is the rising tackle DP. Trying to stay on the ground, puts him into position to eat an EX command grab. Sombra wildness catching him yet again as he goes down to the auto combo super finish.
Amazing spacing on that Sea Snake to just absolutely put them out of range of a reversal attempt from Sombra, knowing that they've already represented that a lot, just keeping it very, very simple, being like, you know what, if I sit at Snake range, they don't DP, they block it, whatever, but if I get the DP, oh boy, I'm eating good tonight. You're talking about steak dinners. Terry's going to be the one going home with some beanies and weenies after that one.
Yeah, a little bit of Chef Boy ID after that, right? I mean, he might be eating out of a can. We'll see. Lokof on set point already and possibly getting into top 3, a place he is very comfortable with. Lokof, again, another strong player that is currently qualified for the SWC. And I like to see that he's making these necessary adjustments after the balance patch. A balance patch can always, it usually can determine, right, like some type of player. Some players immediately fold, right? They don't make the necessary changes. Other players are able to thrive with new teams. And some people are able to just maintain what they were doing and just continue to grow. Lokof, I would say, on the other side of the stretch as we get a throw back into the corner.
Oh, and then putting themselves back in the corner with the whiff on the kick, and now you're putting yourself right in that same situation that Gato is putting you in, and only accentuated by calling out the roll attempt. Lokof and the Gato have just been absolutely amazing. Once they've gotten Joe or Dolores or whoever on the back foot, just absolutely doing the most with it, and that has been so crucial with Lokof being as dominant as they have been, as we've gotten a whiff punish sweep on the far D attempt from Dolores. It feels like Lokof is just knows what Sombra's doing before they even do it.
Yeah, he's 100% playing the mindset. He's getting so many whiff punish stance CDs too. Because again, he knows, we talked about Sombra's aggressive style, and he knows that he wants out of this corner, that he has taken many hits to the face. He's just trying to get out of there, not spending any meter, and the activation, but it's still, ooh, that was a smart idea. I was gonna say it's not his turn because it was advanced strike, but going for command grab there, excellent play from Sombra. He's gonna go right into the climax as well. Definitely gonna put Lokof on the back burner. I like that a lot. Impressive play.
heads-up situational awareness right there, being rewarded with a ton of damage. My goodness, the advanced strike from that distance, recognizing the command grab attempt from Dolores, and still catching the whiff punch, getting a whiff punish there. The counter hits and the whiff punishes here from Gato and Lokof, even after eating all that damage, just still remaining undeterred in their game plan, as you alluded to in an earlier set. It's all about keeping that presence of mind. The vibes are still high, and why even deter or absolutely change anything about the game plan? But the DP and the Power Geyser game plan still working for Sombra there, as we got rid of Gato, but we're still in the same situation we found ourselves in the previous game, with a very healthy and meter healthy Yamazaki going against the Terry on their last legs. But those legs are flying up to the sky with the rising tackle, calling out the JB.
The legs are looking a little limber here. Let's see if we can keep them in check, getting them broken down by the snake strike. And that spacing from Lokof is always going to play to his strength, right? He's always going to be able to nickel and dime you from that far. And yet, this is like 4 for 4, man. Wendy's biggie bag out here with these confirms, as he's keeping the pressure on. Of course, so Terry without resources gonna have to do a little more, and that's always been a weakness of Terry, right? When he's at a meter deficit, he doesn't have the bar. The low confirms wasn't there. The DP got baited. We got a little greedy, tried to go for a jump combo, as Kid comes through with the 38.55, and we're gonna cash out with this meter as well. Best believe EX Stomps is here, and we are done with this set. Lokof, emphatic foundational victory over Sombra.
That's my GOAT, Ryuji Yamazaki, right there. And for that reason specifically, once he calls out, even though he missed that jump or the punish there with the J in them, is the Hakushu representatives between Yashiro and Vice.
Yeah, 2 different short hair demons. This might get cut out of the VOD. I read Pfizer's Gorefest them all as Goonfest and all. I'm sorry about that. But here we go. We're going into the matchup here. Like you mentioned, very identical teams, right? Highly identical teams, the different Orochi members here, both grab specialists in their own right. We'll see how this plays out. Vice's weakness for sure, Vice's Vice, if you will, definitely the fireball game. She kind of struggles until she builds that bar where she can hit that EX splash.
There you go, too. Got put in that 50-50 as well. Went same side and couldn't guess right. Could have tricky, but now she is looking very clean here. All she needs is the chance to get into that vortex. Gorefest's gonna whiff, but Heidern jumped a little bit too high to punish it. Recovered just in time to not take any damage from it, but the damage is still gonna come in from the Stormbringer and then being capped off with the chip on the Moon Slash. So that is Heidern getting rid of Vice. And like you were saying, that is just a tough matchup that we might see an order switch on if this doesn't work out for Eepy Girl, because the Vice playing into Heidern just seems very inconvenient for a point war.
Yeah, you don't have the resources, right? Like I said, as soon as you can splash, you can kind of play things differently, but it's usually not worth it. As Eepy Girl doing a good job. The blue Heidern, for those at home keeping score, is a trade. That's that big old boot, right? We talk about another wrestling reference, the Kevin Nash. They're gonna let it linger. And there's a big jump in, and nicely done. Closing out, EX Moonslash is gonna do it. Eepy Girl back to perfect health. And bringing in, who's that we got on second? I think that is
The
O.Yash.
Yeah. So yeah, Heidern coming in for Eepy Girl. Eepy Girl saw the Heidern go to work against the Vice and said, you know what, this character might be pretty good. But O.Yash on the other end, looking for that JC, which is real good for them, but gonna fall into deaf ears. But not before we get the anti-air command grab. And folks, if you are at home, you already know what happens when you get the anti-air command grab and have a bar in your back pocket. It's guess for game. And guess you did not just come onto the other end. And then the JC same side. This is diabolical. What else can you expect from Plan de Mal? All malicious intentions being showcased right here. And the chip out with the hammer.
The hammer, man. Bringing the hammer down, taking you out. And the funny part is, I mean, Heidern has access to that Moon Slasher, right? That EX Moon Slasher, the flash kick, if you will. Don't have to guess which side that the character's coming on. You can let it rip. But of course, Eepy Girl expecting a safe jump setup and just wasn't able to do anything. But unfortunately, they're moving a little bit too forward. Okay, second chance, second lease on life, if you will. Level 1 Fireball Super, flash kicked extender, and we're gonna go to the zone. Genie is out.
Here we go, went for the frame trap into some real good damage on the O.Yash and almost sitting at the optimal range, but finally getting the anti-air command grab once again. Not going to go into the level 1, instead going into the frame trap after the Oki. Going to try to run up, sitting at a good range too to challenge any attempt at zoning from Ash, while also still being able to take up space. But there you go, the jump CD to get them on out of there. but Ash coming in on the other end, another mirror, and another $15 from Dr. Sauce. Very much appreciated, and they're definitely appreciating this Sans Collect combo that might be on tap here. I'm not going to say anything because Commentator's Curse is very much an enemy of this character.
Definitely can be, but right now, I don't think it is having any effect as RINO is capitalizing. RINO be hitting those in online, offline. He's gonna go for another maximum confirm. The stun might be coming up here. Level 1 super, still in, yeah, he's, oh my God, Ash Crimson's blinking. The stun has happened, and this will be it. RINO doing the damn thing with this Ash Crimson right here, and that's gonna close it out. The only thing that stops Ash Crimson is Ash Crimson himself from a fate worse than death. But of course, RINO able to salvage there, getting that full confirm. And that's what makes this character the highlight reel, right? Everyone plays Ash Crimson first for the clips, second for the neutral.
Yeah, unbelievable way to close it out. And again, Ash players, if they're sitting on a bank of meter, they only want one thing. And that one thing came out for RINO. And it honestly, quick, fast, and in a hurry, that close to the round and with the back against the wall as well. And that's prompting a member switch here. The Vice not getting anything done against the Heidern, understandably going to the more comfortable pick in the O.Shermie. And I think, honestly, just a better matchup and more towards the archetype that Eepy Girl Wakey World that she's comfortable with. So we'll see how that plays out here. But RINO looked very, very strong with all three characters equally. So not much to change on their end. Just gotta keep the main thing. And hopefully this change in character will even it out there as they can go more back and forth for Eepy Girl Wakey World.
Yeah, I mean, that was as clear as day, what we saw in the first round there. Like, it was like, you know, it's an oracle, basically, right? I know the matchup. I know how things are going to go. It's a little tough, no matter the skill level of Eepy Girl. But I do like that we're going to see the O.Shermie here, representing even more zone-heavy style characters and bringing that character into this top 8. Again, getting opened up by the Heidern, the jump heavy, red versus blue. Time to guess, no way, EX Moonslasher.
Crazy thing is, I think they had the safe jump there because the counter hit didn't come up, but I think they just didn't hold back the way that they wanted to, so they got hit by that EX Moonslash. But here we go. That is what's going to let the blue Heidern get their turn going, but we're resetting the neutral here. Couldn't quite get the flash kick out, jumping on over the projectile, and then just capping things off with the Stormbringer. Did not have the recovery to block that jump in time, so that call out for RINO is very much well rewarded there.
That was the best definition of a call out. You saw he lingered in the sky. Like, Heidern's jump is not the fastest, right? So finding that right space in the jump over the fireball there, of course. I mean, anything you can do, I can do better, right? Mirror matchup, I know the character. I know what's in your mind. I see what you want to do. You have O.Shermie here. Okay, gonna get the hop CD. O.Shermie in particular, always a questionable character. I know some people consider her low tier. I think she's like a solid mid tier, right? She's still got those Shermie buttons. It's just that because of the more zone style, she has to force you to come in. And if you just play patiently, it's gonna be hard for her to open you up. But the chip is gonna work out here. Chef's kiss, literally, as she blows the kiss there.
Yeah, absolutely. And complementing that zoning ability is just when she gets the chance to hit you, if you have to play that close quarters game, she can still dump out a very generous amount of damage, as you saw right there, putting Heidern at that chip range, and then had the chance to punish that command grab attempt, but was just a little bit too high to get the full conversion that they wanted. So two Barth that are gonna probably not gonna, I would say, would rather be in the back pocket rather than being on the floor here, as this is how O.Yash is going to push O.Shermie into the corner. So a little bit of infighting among the band currently.
Oh, yeah. Fighting over autographs here. Who's the most famous member of the band? Really, they don't know. It's Chris in the background chilling as we get the big jump C hammer. And this is going to hurt. You got to watch this entire movie, of course, yet again. And think about what's going to happen for next game, because this could potentially be the end of the winner's run for Eepy Girl if she goes down to this O.Yashiro.
Yep, Ash having 2.5 bars coming in, though, can get rid of one character quick, fast, and in a hurry, but you have to weigh that with, if I spend it here, there's another Ash coming in and potentially going to put me in that same situation with even more meter, but maybe that's a moot point as we just run up with the command grab, forcing Ash to retreat as well. Couldn't get the punish on the 2B attempt. Here we go,
okay.
sneak back.
Yeah, the fireball attempt right there. I'm starting to question if Eepy Girl picked this Ash color before RINO, knowing that RINO might want a color code and it's not going to get the chance to, as we're going to go for the level 1 super, taking him all the way to the corner. And the anti-air throw, you want the sky? You can have it, but only if you come down after.
What a call out again. Reno has just been so on point with just reading the options from Eepy Girl Wakey World, but a re-jump attempt is going to be snuffed out by the DP. But my gosh, the statement was made there by the O.Yash, calling out the command grab read and just said, you know what, I've got another command grab that can help out with that. But here we go, the jump in on the part of Eepy Girl Wakey World. Now she is getting things started against Ash. Here comes the DP though to bust out. The cross up gonna be blocked, but still 4.5 bars is more than enough, and also can just sit in zone if they want to. With the health lead.
Could until that jump in. And I was gonna say, you mentioned the meter. We don't even need Sans Colette at this point, right? Just a simple level 1 to level 3 combo will be enough. But you know what? Reno is fine with spinning all that fireball. There it is. This is going to be tough for Ash Prism to close the distance. Wasting all that bar, running in, chasing the fireball. Eats a throw instead. How did Eepy Girl traverse that?
I don't know, but it's gonna be crazy if she can make a mountain out of a mole. Unfortunately, gonna run into a flash kick from Ash Crimson, holding down back, and Reno, and a little bit less of a sit currently in a new patch. And we're gonna see one of the representatives of some of the positive changes in this patch in O.Chris. We saw that earlier from Yurikov and how much benefit that they got from a lot of the changes that he received with this new version of the game. Unfortunately, it did drop that set to a very strong player, but has a chance to rewrite that wrong here against Robert, who is going to show another beneficiary in Shun'Ei, as well as 2 Titans that have remained at the top of the tier list, and Benimaru and Isla.
For sure. And Shun'Ei, I've been warning people, man. I've been telling them since pre-patch, Shun'Ei is that guy. If nothing happens to him, and SNK say, yeah, we'll make him better. He's on the front cover of the game. We need to sell more copies, as the throw is going to go in right here and force the mix on Meitenkun. But there's that flash kick. Yep, crisis averted.
And you see this tricky air mobility that Shun'Ei has that's going to be very good at calling out the flash kick attempts from Yurikov. You've already seen a couple of whiff, and you're seeing a Meitenkun go towards the back as Blue Mary's going to have to come in. But that tricky air maneuvering that Shun'Ei can do is going to make Yurikov second guess what they're going to do in neutral, whether it's fireball or a flash kick to call out an approach attempt. But we're going to call out the jump on the other end with the trip guard. Had the 5C in response, but just wasn't ready to cancel into a command normal. We're ready to do it that time here. Blue Mary can get something started against the man that cannot dress.
Hey, I wouldn't say all that. That's what the young kids are wearing out there, I suppose, as we get weird out by that back so bad into the EX slicer. This should definitely not close it out, but gonna leave him close to it. And Yurikov always on you, man. Yurikov, definitely one of the players who has the best, like the highest throw percentage, I would say. His throws are so annoying, and the way he forces you to play, he forces you to almost want to tech throw after every interaction. And then once he got you like that, he sneaks in the far B.
And now a more fashionable character in Mr. Nikaido coming on out. Looking very clean, very, very nice, but Blue Mary just not really one for flattery, as she's already taking Benimaru into the corner. But we're switching positions very quickly and going into the EX command. Gonna be a lot of stun being done here, but actually no, just gonna go into the oh, never mind. It's gonna be done here with the roll call out. Gonna go into the DP, not gonna go into anything else that'll kill.
Going for the anywhere juggle. Nicely done. Yurikov gonna go for the mix. Oh, I thought he was deep enough to get something on the ground. And what a cancel. Caught him trying to get out of the slicer pressure. Have the confirm into the super ready. I like that. And the jump out from Robert. You can never, ever catch me off guard, says Robert, as he is moving and escalating into the final round of this first match here.
He said, look, I just did the EX command grab to you. You don't think that's in the back of my mind? I was ready for that before you, I threw that before you even walked in the room. And here we go, another command grab right there. Putting O.Chris on the back foot right now.
Oh boy.
Again?
Fair and honest EX Raijinkin in there, the whiff punish. Run up throw. If he did Farsi, I think we would have been fine there, but this is okay. Big damage, and that stand CD, just a little drill, little break dance he does on it. I like it.
Yep, definitely very generous with the meter expenditure, getting Benimaru into the corner. Even though it was, some would say, inefficient in terms of spending all that meter to get a low health Benimaru out of there, and now you have no meter for the Isla coming in. It's always good to just pay the premium sometimes to get rid of the character and get the anchor battle force, because O.Chris in this version, who knows, he can do it to you, but Isla has always been able to do it to you in any version of the game. But here comes O.Chris trying to put a stop to that.
Trying to replicate the times of the past in '98. Not going to be able to do it this game, as we're going right into the climax, baby. Jet Set Radio! Closing it out.
Music to the ears of Isla right now, singing a sweet tune of victory in this set early. The 1-0 game advantage for Robert. So Yurikov going to, wait, did I get that wrong? No, yeah, Robert taking the first game. I saw the count go up and I was like, oh, maybe I got him backwards, but no. Only thing that's going backwards is the side switch that we didn't even get to see. Pneumatic capping it off with the yellow flash there. Isla taking it over O.Chris and Robert taking it over Yurikov and forcing an order switch or an Isla of their own right. So
fair enough.
I'm seeing double, 4 Islas.
It's a lot of them, a lot of hands on the screen, right? Between her and Amanda, but yeah, Yurikov, I mean, that's his primary team. The O.Chris is a newer switch to him, still not as comfortable with the character. As you can see, going to the well. This is his last life, essentially, right? It is loser side, so I totally respect him swapping to the better character to at least keep him in his tournament. And if he decides to switch over to O.Chris later on, he so has a chance. But here we go, Meitenkun versus Shun'Ei. And again, this is a matchup on paper you think would favor Meitenkun, right? Because of flash kick, but because of the different air trajectory moves that Shun'Ei has, he's able to just navigate through as well as blocking all the new stuff too. The jump cancel off the 2C. I love it.
Yeah, they just keep giving this dude new stuff, and I'm sure Robert definitely just loves how generous Oda and SNK have been with the boy, because right now it's being huge in the air maneuverability. Once again, calling out the flat kick, couldn't get the punish, but you saw them already put some uncertainty into the mind of Yurikov even after that situation, and that enabled the open up with the meaty. But here we go, the open up happening for Meitenkun now, going into the level 1 and getting a little bit more equivalent exchange on that life bar. Shouts to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, but not a lot of brotherly love being shown between teammates right now because Meitenkun is trying to get Shun'Ei on out of there.
Yeah, for sure. Tung Fu rolling in his alive coffin right now, watching his 2 students go at it, but it's got to be cutthroat, baby. This is KOF, as Shun'Ei is going to take Yurikov's Meitenkun down yet again.
Blue Mary gonna come in at it, trying to clean up in similar fashion. They did a really good job, and also we saw a little bit of this as well, the trip guard 2B, and something that we see from Shun'Ei all the time, the mix after the level 1, gonna retreat after the fact, maybe trying to bait out a DP there, getting the full punish with the 2A, and the full conversion into the level 1. My goodness gracious, Shun'Ei looking very nice right now.
The game just started, dude. It said 50 seconds. Like, I'm like, all right, we're getting settled. We're getting, oh, that's 50% gone. And Shun'Ei is like, he does incremental damage, right? He's not a character that's known for just putting out all of that stuff there, which is going to be enough to put out his flame. But yeah, man, what a clapback. Yurikov putting it all on this Isla here has to do the damn thing for him in order to stay alive.
The rivalry going in favor of Isla with much more health and much more meter to their back pocket, so giving them the advantage in that showdown, and already looking pretty good. Even though the cross-up was nerfed a little bit, it was still good enough right there to get on Benimaru Nikaido, who instead jumps over the far C. One of the main counterplays, as hard as it is to be effective in doing so in real time, Robert just doing that very well.
Yeah, exercising that to the best of his ability, gets the cross up. I believe this, well, you know what, it might have been 2, wait, yeah, I was gonna say that the scaling from the 2Bs there was just a little bit too much, and Yurikov kind of conceding with that DP, but you know what, we're gonna maximize any hit we get, because if we stay alive, let's raise and we get the DP. I knew what both of them were thinking right there. It's just like, all right, I am going to rob the other person right now. In broad daylight here. I mean, Yurikov's still not out of this, right? If he gets a solid hit, going to use the guard cancel, take his turn back, and optimally doing so. Oh, kind of opening, but no cancel up 5-8. Keeping the pressure on, though. Robert looking for some type of opening. Going to go for a blowback of his own.
Yeah, it might be possible they're playing a little bit too passively with this health lead here. Now opting to push a little bit more pedal to the metal here. And there you go, the guard cancel going to catch an overextending Isla. Not necessarily overextending, but trying to get their turn started. But the chip on the guard cancel is going to do it. And Robert is going.
You said the rivalry, right? Playing so much overtime. You know that I know that you know that I know what you want to do. It's all about who's going to be able to thwart that, start their pressure, and take the not only the start of this matchup, but also the lion's share of the pot bonus, because this is top 3. Winner is going to be getting closer and closer to that grand finals. Here we go, Lokof, RINO, playing them all team kill. Let's get it.
All right, so right now the Heidern just trying to create space, but also not necessarily being overly passive as well, just still representing themselves, running up, challenging the approach, because Lokof knows that, or Lokof may know that RINO is trying to create space, so just trying to keep running up at him, and RINO representing stuff that can just deter that and just make you think about it twice. But here you go, Gato is still going to be able to get started, catching the roll with the throw, and now we're returning back to neutral with Heidern with their foot against the wall.
He said, you in here with me, bro. You know, Gato looking at him like he was looking at his father. He said, you the one that blinded me, right, homie? You look just like him. Hold up. We're getting gripped up here. Run your pockets, taking some money and some health, too. Oh, and that's the Heidern problem. I like the chase down there, but that range, the proximity on this close D, it's not as good as characters like Luong or so. So you're going to move up to get that. Chip is imminent, but we're going to go for the overhead instead. Arms folded as Lokof takes that point war.
Yeah, fair bit of near checkmate situation being represented there because Chip was going to be a factor, and then Gato with the block string pressure as well is just going to be tough to get on out of. So just go into the next round with Yashiro coming in at mid. Can box with Gato a little bit more in that mid range, and definitely not going to try to create as much space. So it's going to be a little bit more of a brawler matchup as we already see them go swinging into the level 1, and the corner carry here as well is very much well appreciated, and not very appreciated is that DP. If I'm RINO, I'm just like, dude, I just got you to the corner. Can you stay here for a little bit?
Yeah, stay a little longer, dance all night, closing down the bar with that fist. Yeah, you're done, man. Closing your tap for you, says Yashiro. Pushing us on to the next character. I believe this is Yamazaki. Usually that's, oh no, Benimaru. Yamazaki is going to be saved for anchor. And this is fine, right? The XR Jenkin is going to do a lot of work for Benimaru in this matchup. Also, just having a better DP, right? Gato's DP is not as good as you want it to be. The EX1 is faster, still no iframes, whereas Benimaru is going to have those and be able to use them. But of course, guard cancel, keep the momentum in your favor, lock him down in the corner. See what we can do here.
What we're doing right now is just absolutely suffocating Yashiro, kind of giving him a taste of their own Robitussin right now. But here you go, the forward throw, getting some good breathing room here. And of course, the 3-framer just going to be able to punish things that no other character can. Benimaru, the privileged man. I mean, you know, fair and honest, Nikaido, but... You know.
Yeah, man, he's working hard. You know, you guys got to really understand. This character, see, it's a lot of work to do back dash right Jenkin, right? It takes a lot of skill. There's the throw tech right here, catching him, running in, and of course the nickel and dime with the Iaido kicks.
Yep, I joke, of course, but of course that was very good usage of the character's tools there by Lokof. You can play Benimaru and not maximize the potential of the character, and RINO just doing a really good job of using the whole toolkit in all phases to both get that punish and then get the most with the momentum afforded after the fact, even after they reset to neutral a bunch of times. And being able to operate in that neutral phase is going to be so key here as Ash comes in with the RINO, and Lokof trying to get on out of there, but just not able to get the level 1 to connect, but still create some space. But that may be more favorable for Ash Crimson here.
Yeah, depleting himself of resources. And I see Ash players between RINO and Eepy Girl having issues with that new counter hit change. It's too slow. And I was wondering if that was going to cause some problems for some characters, right? Because once they're used to converting from the original counter hit hop CD, slowing things down means you have to slow yourself down a little bit, which you don't have much time if you're a charge character, right? So definitely need to see some more adaptations on that. But RINO still possibly in the winning circle here, Sombra. He has four bars. It definitely mounts some big damage here. And it's going to happen, man. Like Persona 3, it's going down. Let's see if we got them, baby.
All right now we're looking pretty good here. Ushering Yamazaki into the corner, covered in some good old green stuff. Shouts out to SF6, but couldn't get the whole thing. But we still get the forward throw, gonna set it up, get the roll through, the classic Ash setup. Gotta be ready for that, but it's another thing when it happens to you in real time. And RINO, despite the incident that could have happened there, was able to still maintain composure, get the forward throw, and then employ the Ash 101. They hand out the pamphlet for that, and the setup there is on page 2. So if you're an Ash player, definitely make sure to go to that conference. Don't know where it takes place, but get that pamphlet, learn you that setup, because you can see it works at every level.
It's definitely going down somewhere in France, possibly at the nail shop. You know what I'm saying? You go there, get your nice nails, and you learn how to do Sans clout combos. But we're off and onwards to game 2. And a great comeback there from Ash, from RINO in particular. See if he can slow down his Gato. The Gato has definitely been a big thorn in his side and a lot of players' sides, I would say, paying in dividends here for Lokof, but let's see if we can slow things down. Is that big old 2C and gonna yuck him over to the corner? Ooh.
And the mix after the fact too, going same side, but you still put them in the corner, trying to go for the counter hit CD conversion. No can do, however, just a little bit too slow to get on over there and get the EX special to connect in it. But still in a good way, especially now that that blowback is hit, going into the level 1 and into the corner, Heidern will go. So this is the win con that you definitely want here, but still being able to match out with that generously high hitting 2A.
There's those fireballs too. Wow, I'm surprised he was able to get to that second one. Skinny hitbox there. Gato definitely watching this figure and tried to dub the handshake. He said, nah, bro, don't touch me. I don't want your dab. It's not GG's, bad G's. He gets hit by the 2C.
A little bit of Ashinojo action happening right there, but Yashiro gonna come in and throw some hands saying, you didn't want to shake, I'll throw some bows with that standing CD blowback attempt right there, but still putting themselves at a pretty good spot, ushering Gato into the corner. But I like a little bit of blowback on my end, says Gato, and now we're just both jostling for position in this neutral brawler matchup once again happening, trading some very good mid-range buttons here.
RINO looking for that one solid hit. The jump A, unconventional anti-air 2D, but we make anything work if we can. I mean, Yashiro definitely one of those, as they say, choose your own adventure characters, right? Some of his normals, because of the wonky hitboxes on them, his jump normals are all really strong, right? So you get to use all of them at every time that you can. So good stuff. And there's a 6B confirm off the hop counter hit CD.
You couldn't get it with the Gato, but I'm going to get it here with the Yashiro, and now we're going to put you in the corner, force you to roll out, but I got a Farsi with your name on it if you try to do so, and a lot more where that came from with this level 2. Going to try to, oh man, got the cross up there. I wonder if they were trying to do a fake cross up and go same side because the JB came out instead of the JC, but all's fair in love and war here as we get the 5B to end things. Just a swift kick to the side, and Yashiro just taking it over Lokof right now.
For sure, man. I'm more impressed Lokof blocked that and like properly guard cancel, right? Like that's the crazy part because you don't see that normal cross up as often. And speaking of crossing up, we're gonna go, not even cross up, they just go straight in. EX Snake Strikes gets the super, poison you out, and now you gotta deal with the snake. There's the counter hit juggle.
Not opting to spend any meter though as well, because knowing that there's an Ash waiting for them if they get rid of the Yashiro, which they so do, catching them trying to do a little bit of breakdancing. Yamazaki, I'm not sure one for doing a little bit of breakdancing, a little bit too big in the figure to be doing that effectively like Yashiro can, but Ash is one that's gonna dance all over you as soon as they get that 2B with that 2.5 bars in the back pocket as well. But Lokof gonna try to use a character that I think is pretty good against Ash in these situations.
For sure. I mean, having access to that double return, right? You throw up the fireball, send it right back at you. Of course, the fireball needs to be thrown, and RINO had the read, got him on the back end again, and of course, this could be a game 2 situation right here. If the Sans Clout is going to go all the way through, which I believe it will. RINO hasn't dropped one all day. Jobber isn't here to curse him, as she's going to go into EX upper. Looks like we're going to a game 3 Zoma. So he did complete it. It just wasn't enough to kill, all right? Just want to get that out there before anyone says anything. But the EX Fireball is going to make sure the stamp of approval. No, you are going back to hell. Do not go out of these depths.
Rome was trying to get you to spend your channel points in a very wrong direction right there. Trying to throw a rock right there. You probably weren't going to get it, but the chip out does secure the round there to go up in a very dominant 2-0 over their teammate Lokof. The Yamazaki could not quite get any good footing there as they're going to move them up into the mid position and put Benimaru in the anchor spot, which is very good. I think honestly this 3 for Lokof is going to be very malleable in terms of team formation, so there's really no wrong answer. It's just a matter of who you feel in terms of matchups and who do you have in terms of momentum and who do you like in the moment. So we'll see if that works out here. But one thing for sure, RINO is definitely making Lokof having to reconsider their game plan here after dropping these first.
100%. Yeah, the team composition as well, like you brought up, I think this is the best that team can be, right? Like in terms of positioning, everyone's going to play to their strengths well, but RINO also doing a great job here, great job of just holding things down. X marks the spot on that fireball. Yeah, you drunk, oh, but I got so much time to hit that EXDP.
All
Ooh.
Now just gonna run up and catching the startup of Stormbringer before the guard point is active, I believe. Right there that it caught before it got active, but just running up with a 2A. Couldn't get too much more out of that, so we're right back to where Heidern wants you. Jostling for neutral, throwing out 2As of our own, but we're just marching them on down as Gato. No seeming stop of the aggression here as we Shatter Strike through. Couldn't get anything off of that though.
Yeah, he tried to go for some stylish stuff. I think DP would have worked out. Not gonna matter anyways because he's getting sucked for his life. Give me the last bit of your life source there, as Heidern's gonna upgrade his life points to a higher class. And as we go on into the next character, Yamazaki, things are looking kind of bleak right here for Lokof.
Yeah, unfortunate. In the first 2 games, I did like the fact that Yamazaki was that anchor, so they didn't have to necessarily clash with Heidern earlier than they needed to, because I think that this is a matchup that Yamazaki can sometimes struggle with, just because Heidern is just so much more mobile, and it can be kind of hard for Yamazaki to establish screen presence against him like he can with other characters. But we're seeing right now that Lokof is going to do a little bit of mileage here just to try to get rid of Heidern. But as I say that, we just chase him on down. Potentially a game wrecker right here. Not enough to kill, but it's what comes after that can be so damaging to Yamazaki.
Yeah, perilous situation. You try to jump out and there's the ray gun waiting for you. The guard point on that too. Yeah, RINO just took what he learned from the last set, doubled down on it, and is eventually looking to close this out with a 3-0, which would be crazy, man, to beat Lokof, but not only to do that, but to defeat him in a 3-0 situation. RINO definitely looking like the best as we saw the walk of shame. Lokof getting schmicked by everything right now.
Oh my gosh, and then just running right behind the fireball with the EX Stormbringer, the side switch as well to put Benimaru into the corner, forcing them to use the guard cancel to roll on out of there and try to reverse fortunes in terms of positioning, but we got the counter hit into the Stormbringer. Potential guess for game now.
My man's Naruto running out here. Yeah, Lokof, even with all of this damage loss, gonna lose to the wake-up throw. OCV by RINO. Call out a RINO CV as he takes it over Lokof, sending to that grand finals.
And their point characters have been absolutely amazing in these runs so far. So we're going to see how it carries in terms of who can secure the early momentum. But the other two on the side of Robert and Shun'Ei and Benimaru have been definitely pulling their own weight. But the same could be said with Kula's other two. And we will see how that all settles out here. But first things first, game 1 on tap, Rome.
Let's did it, man. I'm ready to see how this is going to turn out. Of course, the point war, a lot of cases will dictate the pacing of the match here. And this is going to be an interesting one here. Isla has that DP to burst out of some of the strings that Duolon is going to try to use and exercise on her. But again, his range, his ability to keep you out, that normal right there is going to stop her air approach. I think this could be a point war that actually favors Duolon, but we'll see.
We've seen Duolon give people a lot of fits at point, especially on the part of Kula, just being able to be so, again, I use this word all the time, but pestering is just what you can describe it as, just a lot of just challenging approaches at so many different ranges, and then just all of a sudden, by the way, I'm switching sides when I get half a bar, and that's just something that you got to deal with. A little bit of taste of your own medicine for Isla as we get the 6B right there as we retreat between the two, and a little bit of a slowdown in action here.
There we are underwater. We'll figure things out here. We'll get it. Looks like they might just run it back. A little bit of a, that was like a mandatory timeout. You know what I'm saying? Like just take a little break right there. We see all the animations of Isla's DP.
Yeah, like these are two very high energy characters. Sometimes you just got to take a breeze because it could be a little bit taxing on the brain to deal with for so long. It's been a bit of a long tournament and a very difficult tournament for these two. So maybe the break is much appreciated here. But we're definitely appreciating that jump not being safe as we got the level 1 reversal here for Duolon.
Yeah, the Ghost homies came through and said, I got you, D. I'm gonna hold you down. Amanda's trying to hold down. Not gonna matter though. There's a jump beat. My man put his arms all the way out there for that jump beat. You ain't gotta do that, Duolon. You're already kicking, bro. But whatever.
It's just so crazy how long his limbs go at even not just on the ground but in the air too. And it's just like, dude, like I jump, I get stuffed. I on the ground, I get stuffed. So like, what am I supposed to do here? What you can do is play Shun'Ei and get some good punish action here on the attempted sequence there from Duolon and now push them into the corner. But here we go. We're fighting our way on out of there, getting the jump in.
Oh yeah, gonna mount some serious offense here. Chat, I don't know if we got any modders or any memesters in there, but I need to see that dual on jump B, but on the Sonic Adventure game. Like, you know how he did the pose in Sonic Adventure? Hit that one for me right now. Robert trying to hit this dual on, but he can't. And this is going to go for the mix instead of just solid damage there. And the guard cancel roll through the stomp there. That's good. We spent some meter and we subdued the point character, but a lot of damage was taken in that occurrence.
Yep, and here comes Benimaru to try to clean it up. Shun'Ei still being able to secure momentum in the round very easily, but the same could be said for Mr. Nakaido, the team hero teammate here, as we're seeing right now. Didn't even need to do anything fancy, just go straight into the DP. Perfect round, the perfect hair on Mr. Nakaido. Gonna force out the clone in the other stand. I'm looking at a mirror right now, and I look good as hell.
The man in the mirror. Shout outs to MJ. We're about to lay the legs all over, yeah, for sure. MJ had great movement. So does Benimaru there with those Yaido kicks. Of course, EX started drinking a big old stop sign.
Keeping it up with the MJ references, a little bit of smooth criminal as we steal back our turn on an approaching Benimaru with one of our own with our very strong 2B, saying, you got to know that that's going to come, and you got to know that this JB is coming. We both play these characters, but unfortunately don't play it enough to not drop it here, but going to be able to use the anywhere juggle into the level 1 into the DP. So Robert still alive, a pixel and a prayer, but Rio, not necessarily a god that will answer to you.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of health, right? Like he wants to see yours decline. So definitely looking forward to mount some big offense here on Kula, on Robert. Usually Kula cooking with the Benny. The Benny's down, but Rio's here to play, meets him in the air. Doesn't go for anywhere juggle, and that's okay. But the chip range is here. Oh, that was almost a mistimed meaty heavy. What is going on? We are fishing too hard for that chip.
Yeah, trying to take some shades out of the M-dash book there with the EX Tatsu in neutral, but the C or the jumping JD is going to secure it there. The feet to the hair is just something that you don't necessarily want when you have it all poofed up and all coiffed up like that, but sometimes you can't do anything when Rio has what he wants set in stone, because the broad shoulders, set in stone mentality of Mr. Sakazaki is going to take that game 1. So good stuff there from Kula here, and Robert going to go right back to the order select screen and going to put Shun'Ei at point against the Dualon. Kind of like this. I feel like they're going to answer the mobility of Dualon with the mobility of Shun'Ei, so it seems like it's going a bit of tit for tat.
I 100% think this is the better choice. I'm surprised he didn't start with this, to be honest, and we're going to see a big change already, but Kula is also used to playing this matchup. He plays with Dark Angel a lot, and Dark Angel Shun'Ei, possibly the greatest Shun'Ei known to man at the moment, so he's going to have this matchup a little bit more in his pocket, but we'll see what Robert can do. Bring in the line wire. All the way to the corner. Dash punches out, tries to fizz bump. Great spacing, like I just mentioned. Gonna know the spacing here, and how to navigate through that dash punch and blowing up the wake up roll. This corner is yours. You better learn to like it.
Absolutely, especially when you can't bust out with a meterless reversal, because the other two that have them are currently sitting in mid and anchor. So Shun'Ei's gonna have to fight his way out earnestly using some of his grounded normals, most likely that 2A, and using the Flamin' Fist to push Dualon into the corner here. Fighting on the ground, being very much rewarded now that we've got Dualon in the corner position, having to roll on out of there with the guard cancel, and now very less than optimal meter on the part of Dualon. And the level 1, what's the mix, Rome? Did you block that? It looks like Robert Dualon, Kula did.
Yeah, he did, but I definitely didn't for sure. Bird watching there. Not that it matters. The air dash through, gets the cross up jump D. Definitely one of those funny situations, right? His cross up, his jump D doesn't cross up as easily. So it definitely depends on him zigging and you zagging there, as we saw happen at the end.
And already the switch to point Shun'Ei paying off as we force out the mid Benimaru now. The Benimaru doing a really good job there for Kula until Rio had to come in and clean things up. So very versatile character, can match what Robert's trying to represent with Shun'Ei in a lot of different phases, and that air throw definitely does help snipe out the air mobility attempts from Robert. But here you go, the Shatter Strike going into some mix into the safe jump. Never mind.
Nicely done, using that new update right there, getting the jump cancel off the 2C. He tries to go for even more of a fake. Yeah, you had to spin meter. A little bit of risk right there from Kula, just busting out the idle kicks, but of course that risk pays off as he's going to take down that Shun'Ei, get us to the next game here.
So again, the Benimaru mirror gonna happen right before our very eyes. Kula being the loser of that before Rio had to come in and fix things, but it was a very different situation. We are currently mid on mid between the two, and the air throw gonna be what happens for Robert here. And then we're just gonna go in there, the jackknife kick, even after my turn was over. Frames are just a state of mind for this character.
Heck yeah. Doing a great job pushing Kula down, but I mean, we've seen what happened, right? Pressure forms a diamond, and Kula Diamond, even though he's not rocking that character, has been doing some good work with Rio, right? Bringing things back with this character. It's a great whiff punish fireball to start things off.
We're going for the full jump JD as well, just slowly pushing Benimaru into the corner. Now getting that anywhere juggle that you wanted in the previous game, going into the EX fist, going into the level 1 as well. Do we cash out fully? Nah, just go for the level 1. Still really good corner advantage here.
That Farsi was canceled at the Tatsu. Benimaru will be pushing up daisies there, and he got the counter hit again. Nerf where? Show me the nerf, says Rio Sakazaki.
Absolutely. I still got what I need to get the job done against Benimaru, but here comes Isla, Amanda, and a couple of hands to match the hands of one Sakazaki. Let's see what's going to happen here. We run up with defeat instead with the close D. The Shatter Strike, a fireball. Couldn't get the block. So here we go. Still going to push them into the corner. And a couple of That's the command dash as well. Here we go, Ralf.
He's spending it too. Absolutely. One more reset's gonna happen because we don't have enough bar to get that 50% EX juggle. Not that it matters. The toe touch on the dome. No hands can save you. Kula is gonna advance into top 3 into losers finals.
Losers finals, like you said, best of 5, first to 3 action between these two. Kula and Lokof gonna square off to see who gets the shot at their boy RINO in grand finals.
Oh yeah. Who's gonna get there? How we get there? Are we there yet? We'll find out very, very shortly.
There we go. Jocelyn for position. The Duolon and the Benimaru going to be the point characters to start us off here. The Duolon has definitely been very, very good in this respect in this run here for Kula. But Benimaru, again, much like Lokof, not somebody you want to sleep on.
Oh, not at all. That spacing 6A, keeping you at arm's length, literally, is Duolon. The 2C just in time and just forcing all those trades. The trades are going to work out in the favor of Kula right now. He has the high ground. He has the high health.
And they have the corner as well, just getting all the advantage they can. Also retreating, trying to just keep them facing towards the back wall, just not necessarily overextending with the pressure, because Duolon can be prone to overextend sometimes if they're doing close quarter pressure. So I do love Kula being a little bit more careful, a little bit more reserved, but not so overly careful to where they're just not letting, or they're not letting Benimaru pay for trying to run up an approach. But that's sometimes what happens to you. You just run up with the 2B, and this is all Mr. Nikaido needs to finish it off with an EX Raijinken on a block.
100%. And you were right. Listen, and your call, I like the way Kula was playing. Of course, though, that reserved, being reserved right there was what got him to die. And it's unfortunate, but onwards and upwards. We got Vice coming through and quickly wrap this up. A nice sleeve into a super. Close out the deal here. There it is. I'm gonna go for EX sleeve. Oh, nope, just right into tackle into super. That is A-okay with me. Gonna get back all that health. Kula taking that second game down quickly and moving on to Lokof's mid character.
Yeah, it's still very early in the life of Vice in mature, but it's very interesting to see. We've seen Vice at point, we've seen Vice at mid. I don't think we've seen them at anchor, so we've got a very early look at where she fits well in terms of team formation. And maybe mid may be the move right now, coming in with some good meter, was able to close out that first round and now get a very good life lead on the Gato here.
Oh, stand CD, just enough time to get that run up into the EX sleeve. Yeah, a little bit more scaling than usual, so I definitely commit him for not going for super in that case, but the Shatter Strike. And we get out the corner at least with that one.
But taking advantage of the unsafe special cancels that Vice has, so gonna be able to get on out of harm's way. Even though the Vortex was threatened, just holding down back, waiting for the melee and strike pressure to end, and that's what was rewarded there, but still sitting on very little health, but whiffing on the EX sleeve there. Now gonna potentially reverse fortunes, but we just run up with the Gore Fist. How about that? The good old classic from the girl.
It's so fast, right? Represented in every single game she's in. And I'm glad we got the closure out with that. But yeah, that sleeve is finicky. It's good when it's good, right? But the arc on it is so awkward that sometimes it doesn't catch every anti-air that you need. Oh, that's that 5C and a 2C. Vice be throwing them bows, man, them big old haymakers.
Unbelievable. We're gonna get some sleeve versus some snake action here between the two Hakushu. The one a little bit more faithful to Orochi, currently being thrown to the ground there with the 623C, or the 623B rather. And now just gonna run up with the command grab EX stomp after the fact, and that is going to be a dead Vice. So Benimaru is going to have to step up for one half of the secretaries.
Yeah, he can hold it down. You know, Benimaru is a big fan of the ladies, so he sees one of them go down, he's definitely gonna pull through. But that stand CD pulling through, getting the wall spot and taking you all the way down with the poison as well. Watch your health, man. Get that insurance. Ain't looking too good.
Oh, but we're looking very good, just running up with the 2B once again, gotten a lot of mileage out of that, as most Benimaru players do. So why not just do even more of it and also bait out the reversal attempt? Lokof was just trying to get out of dodge as soon as possible, knowing that he did not have the most defensive options in the world to deal with Benimaru close quarters pressure, trying to get a little bit cheeky there with the reversal, just thinking, yeah, he won't expect me to do it, but Kula 2 steps ahead with that one.
Yeah, Kula's like, I've been in this position before. We've done this dance. I'm sure we've done it last week. And yeah, that's super. It's not actually like, it doesn't have any iframes. It's not really like used in that sense, but it's so fast that like it can catch a mistimed meaty, right? It's definitely one of those type of tools. And Lokof does do a really good job at hitting it. But fortunately for Kula, he had it scouted, man. Had the goggles on. He saw the future. He was ready, but did not see that Iaido kick coming to punish him.
Here we go, just going right back to the same old story with the point war that we saw in the first game between Duolon and Benimaru. We will see who starts it out here, but we're seeing them play very respectful of one another. Again, we saw in the first game that once Duolon got that health lead, they were playing a lot more reserved, and it looks like they're going to stick to that game plan here, despite being blown up for it.
Yeah, try to run it back. There's a counter hit. Just going to go for a bit of a reset there. No extra damage needed. We see the buffering like crazy. You know, EX Jenkins is definitely on the mind of Lokof. And it's not a bad tool, or even the EX Fireball, right? Stopping the approach of Kula. Definitely not the worst idea you can do. Going in.
Here we go, getting the air throw to keep them in the corner as well, trying to catch them jumping out of dodge. Gonna cancel into the fireball, gonna get the CD confirm, and then just go into the level 1 after all of that. So Duolon this time emerging victorious in the point war over Benimaru, forcing Gato to come in and try to even the ship here.
You gotta right the wrongs if you're Lokof, right? You need to get this. Can't afford another loss. That's a great hit from him. It's hard usually for Gato to get those big damages into EX Palm, right? Because he can't convert that off of lows, but that was the right time to blow up the mistimed jump from Kula, quickly fast traveling all the way to Vice.
Yeah, Vice doing a pretty good job right there. Just gonna get the whip punish, run up with the EX Gore Fist. I don't think I've ever seen whip punish EX Gore Fist, but it's the first time for everything in a bracket like this, Rome.
Nice, and that was talking about whip punishes, right? Using that stand CD, she reels back before letting that big old fist fly, and another read with the anti-air sleeve. Gets the super in the way, and look at this, all this damage added up. That 5C, where are you going, bro? Do not approach. Warning, 5C ahead.
Man, this is the Vice that has been just what we've been waiting to see from the character. Absolutely annihilating the Gato right there. Just getting a read on pretty much everything that they were doing and getting so much reward off of it as well. And oh, here you go. That's the CD challenging the CD of Yamazaki. That's a hell of a CD to challenge, but you won it. So kind of shows you what Kula's playing with right now with this character. And look at the sleeve winning the neutral against Mr. Snake Arm.
That set reversal too. I was scared for a minute. I was like, that's not a punish, but are we gonna go into the level 3? Yes, we are. You have to. You gotta subdue this crazy lady. He's gonna go for all 4 too. I don't blame him. And pardon my French, but Vice is about to get drilled, and I'm a little jealous about it.
Not all the way, though. Not all the way finished. That gives the lady a little bit more time to get on in there, get the slack, going in the EX Gore Fist, level 1, and that is going to finish off Yamazaki. The drill, not going to be able to right the ship there. this Hakushu going to emerge victorious in game 2, and Kula with an exemplary Vice performance here to get to set point potentially.
Damn, Lokof, not like this, bro. A 3-0 in winners and then in losers. But again, that just goes to show the caliber of players that we have weekly here at Tampa Never Sleeps. Like even your peers, man, people that you would consider on your level. Also players that are in the SWC like a RINO, you could still lose 3-0 to them, man. It's insane.
Yeah, anybody can get in a bracket like this. It's very crazy how just, again, it's like you never know with the strength of the players always duking it out against each other. You never can call it. And, you know, that's what we're getting right here. Lokof has been very strong here, but in recent tournaments, but Kula has just absolutely been taking it to him so far. So we will see if they're able to get a reverse sweep going. But right now, it's going to have to be going through the duel on first before anything else.
Let's get it. Yeah, Lokof's gonna need to do everything he can, man, just to stay alive, right? Just to get some of that extra money in the pop bonus. And already with the aggression, EX command grab. Chat, we got a match to call. Can you guys be respectful, okay? That was last interaction. As we get into this one, the lockdown from Kula.
Look, you offered it on out there. That's what you get in response. And right now, you're getting offered a seat in the corner as you tried to jump over Duelon. And now you're going to be potentially put in harm's way if you're letting Duelon keep this up. But good conversion into the DP. Benimaru looking very healthy right now, but not potentially after they get called out with the EX Slicer. Full jump from the Duelon. Called out on the DP as well. Kula might be running it back here if they want to spend it.
Yeah, that look like an angry DP to me, like a frustration DP, you know, like I just need this round over with. But that's the type of player Kula is, man. He forced you, even with you with such a huge life lead, he still forced it out of you, forced the life force, forced the resources, having to spend meter on a blowback on an EX DP just to kill a character that should have been dead.
Oh, but here we go. The character that's been making everybody dead in that game 2. Vice coming on in, ending it in short order. The point character with the JC jumping over the, I believe that was the 2B attempt there from Benimaru. So Gato's going to have to get this lady on out of here before she runs rampant like she did in the previous game.
She was a problem for sure. And Kula's saving her for this part of the bracket, the upper echelon. Is quite interesting, but she's getting destroyed right now. Tries to go for the meaty Shadow Strike. Oh, the 2C. If that was GRT, that 2C would have connected 100%.
Unbelievable. Yeah, also tried to go for a bit of a punish on the Shadow Strike as well, but here we go. This is what you need if you're Gato, keeping up the plus frames, but what's good are plus frames when you can just hit them and then call out the EX Gore Fist attempt. Kula getting a little bit happy with those reversals, but Lokof playing around those beautifully and bringing out the anchor Benimaru, but 4.5 bars to the name.
100, yeah, gonna do some massive damage here if he can get that nice hit. I mean, Benimaru, you don't see him often on anchor, but I would say he's definitely quite the strong anchor, right? Just because of what he can get out of nothing. Having access to EX Raijinken really slows down the pacing of the game. And we're gonna get a big jump in. Get extra damage. Oh, just jumping right over the two-way mash. No way. Kula sitting on set point here, possibly gonna send Lokof to an early doom.
Unbelievable. And you testified about the ability of anchor Benimaru, a versatile character that can fit anywhere on the team, but where he shines, where he can shine in this anchor position is also in the fact that now he still has a generous 3.5 bars of meter. He is very efficient in getting rid of the mid, so he's still very well equipped to get rid of this Yamazaki. But who is going to get trip guarded is going to be Benimaru this time. The 2B going to catch him, and now the EX side switch going to the overhead. Oh my god, this is actually going to be a vortex.
Yeah, he was getting mixed up right there, and we are even on life. Similar meter, but we have the 2 bars. Kula has access, I was gonna say, to a maximal, but you know what? Run up the X command grab is A-okay. The scaling is gonna ensue. We're gonna have to get one more mix up here. This could be the end for Lokof. If he doesn't find
kill
it
as well.
Chip is happening. Yeah, that is it. The lack of defensive tools from Yamazaki, unable to escape. No meter, no DP. Nale, we got Clan RINO, winner's side, which means we're gonna have to hear that same song because he does not change his training state song. RINO, how dare you? But he's going up against Kula, who is in the hot seat. He is pulling through another dominant 3-0 over Lokof as we move into this Heidern contra Rio. Let's get it.
Go. Yeah, the Rio taking the place of the Vice that was doing so well. So definitely felt like more of a player matchup pick potentially in that previous game. But now Rio coming in, definitely considered to be a higher kick or higher place on the tier list. But Heidern way up there as well. And you're seeing why, putting them in the mix right now. And it's only 15 seconds. And look at where Rio's health bar is at.
Yeah, just like that, without a lot of damage too. Great parry though, a little bit of third strike right there. You know what they say, the third strike is what counts. It's gonna go for the big damage, but there is that nerf, baby. You gotta watch them fireballs. You ain't got that much space to do it. You need to watch yourself.
Especially against the 2C of Heidern, so quick and so far reaching, a very good equalizer tool in pretty much every matchup that they're going to be afforded, being able to punish that and convert into a killing combo. So Duolon gonna have to come out and deal with the veteran here.
The veteran indeed, right? Heidern like what, 80? Something like that. He's an old guy. He's an old dude, limbering around with them long limbs and lumbering around, I should say, and got the lockdown on Duolon. It's a great position from here. Ooh.
They're fighting their way on out of there, but still back to the corner. RINO has shown that they will not overextend offensively if they don't have to. Even when they have them in the corner, they'll finish a block string, don't immediately rush in to try to get a close normal to get started again, will just sort of take up space and then just sort of force their opponent to play that RPS position. But now we're reversing fortunes here, but still getting the moon slash to get on out of there. Rolling out of the 2C though, very lucky to not get caught there.
Narrow escape. Yeah, I was like, for sure the recovery on that far C would have got us destroyed, but RINO right back to slowing things down. I mean, look at the timer. Even if Kula is going to get the kill here, and I believe he will, after this, the air reset will do the trick. Still 18 seconds. He's going to be coming in with a little bit over 50%. And I need to bring attention to that copy pasta. Oh, RINO, my sunshine, my Pookie Shuki bear. Where do I even begin? You just brighten up my day, you sweet buttercup.
I have no words. I just have no. I don't know how I'm supposed. This is my first day out here. I don't know.
Got you on your first date like Leon S. Kennedy. Out here.
Ooh, yeah, here we go. I am still familiar with what Yashiro can do for you if he gets that JC, but Kula was also ready for that, being ready to trip guard that as they slowly inched up so that JC would whiff and not catch him on the other side. So the spatial awareness that he has employed with the Duolon still paying off in spades as Yashiro is getting on out of there early.
Deployed and deployed. This Duolon putting in so much work. He said, where do you want me, Sergeant? And now he's got to take down his former teammate, man. KOF 2003, Splendid Evil Heroes team. I know that must have been jarring for players, right, to see Ash Crimson considered a hero, right? Because he's such a troll with that max range 2B into the full maximum conversion. We getting clouded, baby. Let's go.
I know Elizabeth does not like to see these two fighting. They're going to give them both an earful, but Duolon may not be responsive, may not even be in a conscious state of mind after this Sounds Colette combo going into the level 1, and that should do it after the flash kick. You're going to be flashing green like your DJ and going into a drive rush, but now we're gonna have to play a different kind of game here. Benimaru Nikaido coming in, 3.5 bars, max mode ready, and Ash not quite ready to do the full Sans Colette, gonna need about 1.5 bars more.
Need some work. I like the delay right there. He tried to cancel the end frames of 5C into the back B, the soul back kick there, which gives you time to link into flash kick. It's a little bit of a type conversion, obviously, because you're going from back to down, but Benimaru going from forward to back with that command grab, putting the headphones on. Big damage here, and again, a nice position. Oh my God, EX right Jenkins. I mean, excuse me, fair move and honest move. You know,
I was gonna say it was paying the bills right there, corner offense, but got thrown out of the slicer right there and tried to roll out of there, but ready to catch it. Gonna be able to catch with 2B into the quick max, go into the level 1 as well as the pink bar was getting on out of there, but we are still seeing a different color, and that is still in the advanced strike.
Got him out here, man. Hands in the cookie jar. You exposed, man. Retweet that. Caught in 4K. Pressing that 5C. RINO gonna take the second game. RINO is looking to close this with another fast 3-0, perhaps.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that Ashe was just on a mission. You're typically seeing Ashe players, especially if they have to sort of not or wait to build that bar to sort of sit back and play that zoning game. It felt like RINO was just like, no way, I'm actually going to build bar by playing offense, which is a foreign concept, I know, but we're going to get in there and just absolutely throw hands. And it was rewarded with a game 1 victory. But here we go. Every game is a different one. We'll see if Rio can make something happen against a Heidern that did so well at point.
Also, I want to apologize real quick. That was game 1. That was just the longest game 1 ever. So I was like, I thought we were on game 2, but I forgot. We're playing King of Fighters here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's been a long day. I know it's been a long day for you. So I mean, like some of these games kind of bleed together. So
absolutely, I'm trapped in these white walls here too. You know what I'm saying? All this padding around me. I don't know where I am, but Rio looking good for Kula.
All right, getting that corner positioning in, ending with the A fireball. So here we go, still fighting our way out. Try to go for Stormbringer, but got thrown on out of there. Was just a little bit quicker on the trigger with the normal throw as opposed to the command grab.
Ooh, anywhere juggle to save the day. Kula not backing down at all.
Great job there to use the anywhere juggle to finish the job here. So Yashiro gonna come out against the broad-shouldered man built like a Dorito facing the other way around.
What? That's a new one. I usually like to say Rio is shaped like the letter H. Excuse me, I can't even English right now, but I can call out this level 1 super. I'm getting mixed by you and the chat. There's a lot happening right now. Yashiro throwing them bowls, man, putting that big damage on. Oh my God, I love watching some KOF. Here we go.
It's very good. Trying to go for the sweep into the jet punch. Nobody home to be caught trying to challenge that. However, we're still sitting at a very nice range there, throwing out that A fireball, being very conscious of the space that we do with the nerfs and conscious of the DP attempt from RINO. Got the full D Tatsu as well, so you're going to get a very efficient kill here.
Free lobotomy for you. You're going, actually free chiropractic treatment as well. Back getting blown by Ryo Sakazaki. And Kula, again, unfazed, man. He is right back in there. Lost the first game. He said, meh, it's all right. I already know what I want to do. I'm going to apply these changes, and we're seeing them get used to perfection. He's possibly on an OCV situation.
Yeah, Re-OCV is not uncommon in these streets, regardless of what version of the game it is. And already catching them, whiffing on the JCD, got the 5C, gonna take him all the way into the corner with the EX Tatsu, but we're still fighting on out. Love to see this aggression from RINO, but unfortunately, the aggressiveness was not paid off as they ran right into the of the Mr. I guess not Mr. Karate, but his kin in Ryo Sakazaki, finishing it off and finishing off a game 2 victory to set up a potential best of 3 to force a reset or just take it outright if RINO were to take it.
I mean, you had it right though, Mr. Karate. I mean, he does go by that in some other games, possibly the future, who knows? So we are definitely getting in there. But yeah, I mean, Kula, you know, the clap back of the ages right there. Unfazed, unbothered in his own lane, as the whole quote goes. Doing a good job, and he is staying in there. Let's see if RINO can make these adaptations. Of course, it is grand finals, right? And RINO's on winner's side, so he's got a few more games to figure out what he needs to do. But again, Kula's not the kind of player you want to take too long to adapt to.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. It had the momentum that they needed to. But unfortunately, the proximity on the far D got the best of them again as they wanted that close to keep going. And now the snowball is going to be rolling down the hill for Mr. Sakazaki as we are just keeping Heidern locked down into the corner after the A fireball, pushing them right back in there. But I like RINO just, again, similar to what they do with Ashe, instead of playing a character to their zoning strengths, which you would expect, just running up, taking spaces with some very non-committal normals, and you're seeing what that affords you.
For sure. I love the RINO just back up to A. You know what I mean? Like, just, I'm like right there. I'm just going to do that. I'm doing that. I'm just putting my hands out. This could be anything. Obviously, it's a bait to get you to jump. If you relax too long, I'm going to throw a fireball. And it's just, like, again, playing to the strengths. Not only is he just relaxed and he's poised, but he's also charging. But you got to watch out for that shotgun known as the parry.
That would have been so crucial if they were able to secure the kill there, had the chance, but unfortunately wasn't ready to pull. I feel like how we reacted was how Kula reacted, just being like, man, I'm nice, I'm gonna hit this, but just wasn't fully ready to confirm in the moment, which is fair. But RINO doesn't care that it's fair. Heidern just wants Rio on out of there. The man built like a poncho's got to go away.
Yeah, he had to get out of here, man. Too much asparagus double chicken breast in his diet. He's gotta slow him down a bit.
All the grilled chicken and rice is just too much not nice in these parts. But here we go. Heidern getting the dual on the back foot. We're feeling nice getting this CD conversion into the mix after Stormbreaker. Trying to chase down the roll with the 2C, but just, again, narrowly escaping it. It feels like Kula very much been praying to Lady Luck because that's 2 times that's happened now.
She is on his side. Looking for one more hit. Yep, again, that's 6B. I used to think Yashiro's was like the most annoying. I think because of the arc of Dualons, it's just so great at that. Like, again, just nickel and diming you. It's great for situations where they have no health and you know they want to squirm out of the way, whether it's a jump, whether it's a backdash, or it's even a step back. It's just a great containment normal right there to just throw out at your own leisure.
Here we go.
It's low committable too. You see that? Like nothing happens, right?
Like nothing happens. Against Yashiro of all characters, by the way.
Right. Oh, but the guard gauge getting whittled down here. What a low profile from Kula. Immediately goes into the STM.
Yep, and getting the side switch as well. Some very good heads-up awareness, trying to put Yashiro into the corner. Even if they were going to be on the same side of the screen, that guard bar was still going to give Yashiro a chance to respond and potentially put Duel on in a precarious situation with less meter. But here we go. The precarious situation is still on tap as we got the straight hit into the full super here, going for these JCs, but just a little bit too high on that one. Rolling out of the side switch, and we're just jostling for some screen position right now. RINO just throwing out some haymakers right now, trying to see if one can hit Duel on.
He needs one of them to touch at least, right? But it's another trade. Tries to go for that JA. Pressure is on. And again, a drop of health here for Kula. Kula sub 100, actually. I think any normal, for the most part, any heavy normal will definitely do it. 6B. And he dashes into his loving arms. It's like the hymn song, "She'll be right here in my arms, so in love," getting tossed to the wayside.
Yep, unbelievable. The spatial awareness has been the coup de grace for Kula, but RINO taking a page out of that book and catching the command dash and throwing them right on out of there. So that's what you get when you get these players of such high caliber. Everyone is just aware of options at all times and just knowing when to call it out in the moment, which is very impressive.
100%. Dude, he tried to call out something with that backdash there. RINO a little frisky, getting crazy with it. Yeah, Kula gonna keep things low committable as possible. Exactly. Matches freak, meet him in the air, air to air, jump D, cutting through you like a knife. That's the best way to use that normal in this game. But we are down to it again. And this is where the fireballs get a little risky, right? Because of the fact that we have the level 3 with Benimaru that clears full screen.
It's going to be very interesting to see how Kula is going to play this. Are they going to keep Ash on the back foot and potentially bait out a DP by being smothering on offense? Or are you going to let RINO do exactly that and get started by just running up with the forward throw? Once again, the selective aggression resulting in such good reward, potentially a game-winning reward here as we were getting the setup into the full Sans Colette combo. Have all the meter in the world to do it, going into the quick max once again. Couple of swipes to the chest. Rome, this is not looking good for you.
Not like this. The biggest drop, possibly the one of the century, if RINO doesn't recover from this. He is so crazy for those rolls, Zola. Those did not go punished. He is going to live a little bit longer, but it could be all for naught if he dies here. Oh, landed on the EX. Yeah, he's going to... Oh, my God. KOF. It always happens. Canonical timeline. Ash Crimson must die after failing to kill with Sans Colette.
The tail as always time and Ash combo dropping it as soon at literally the worst possible moment. Wasn't even at a moment where they could recover in time to block with like a normal in the combo or a Sobot. It was right when the level 1 came out. So that was a full punish that was on tap for Benimaru, and that is so unfortunate. RINO had it wrapped up, but Kula making off like a bandit as they are now at set point forcing a reset.
My man said, reveal spell card, baby. Snatch still. That is mine. It's no longer yours. As we are still in this early set, I mean, this could put Kula in a bracket reset situation here. RINO, I'm surprised. I wonder if he's going to save the O.Yash if it is a reset. You know what I mean? Like, because I would have definitely expected him to swap to that character, but here we go.
All right, jostling for position. The Heidern has paid off for sure at this point. Has been very good, but Rio getting the better of them the last couple of times. Now just both of them training a bunch of 2As, both of them honestly, I was mentioning how Kula was starting to adopt Rino's playstyle with the Benimaru. And here we go, getting the guard gauge broken. Rino not quite taking a look at the gauge below the health, and that is going to be your downfall potentially.
He only got one eye, bro. Heidern, he can't look at everything, bro. Got the eye patch on one, the other eye looking at his health bar, the other one getting destroyed by that uppercut from Ryo Sakazaki, and Kula taking all of that momentum from last game, applying it to this one. We could very well be seeing that bracket reset.
Unbelievable stuff here. Got the JD and ran under instead of converting into EX Fist, but still got the EX Fist after that. Going to the other side and getting the 2B to hit.
Damn, the sweep is in. Kula getting all this extra damage. Rino still unable to really get into the next position of this matchup here. Been on the back foot the entire time. With all the resources too. 4-bar maximum, max if you can get a hit. Tries to go for that 6B.
Trying to throwing out these rangy normals, especially the sweep into the jet punch. Trying to catch the high-reaching JD, but nothing doing there either. Couldn't get to the throw, but still putting Ryo into the corner. Has to be a little bit mindful of the DP because he is going to play a little bit more liberally. Has all the meter in the world as top of the character lead, so you got to be careful if you're trying to extend on offense as Yashiro.
Guard cancels out. No extension there for you. And Kula doing a good job. Usually Rino's the one who will slow down the pacing of the match. No way. Gonna get 2 throws. Sucks to be Rino in that position. Got opened up, but still not over. Down to the anchor, Ash Crimson. 5-bar Ash has to do all of this work. It's not out of the realm, but it's definitely easier said than done.
It is going to be a Herculean task for our hero Ash Crimson, which is an insane sentence to say, I know. But here we go, just gonna jostle up with the Sobots, trying to get a little bit of forward movement, throwing out a hitbox at the same time. Got the JCD, very generous buffs. Thank you so much. Couldn't quite get the kill, setting up the fire, jumping over the fireball attempt. But now we are sitting back at neutral.
Oh, the genie. Yeah, was still out for a bit. I don't like that he didn't EX flash kick though. The EX flash kick would have been enough to get the kill. You can't afford to be cheap with your meter. Not right now, man. Like how you can't save the meter for the next game, right? So how much are you gonna be cheap on it, not spend your resources? Excuse me, they're trying to find this opening. Low committable does get the soul back kick, but yeah, we could have ended that one a good 20 seconds earlier if we just put a little more stank on that EX flash, on a regular flash kick.
Yeah, absolutely. May not get the same amount of health back, but still very healthy. And I do want to note, potentially this does go to a game 5. There was a little bit of counterplay being displayed there by Rino, throwing out that fireball. Slowly, it did a walk block because of the fact that Ryo, on the part of Kula, likes to go parry the fireball into EX Tatsu. So potentially trying to do a walk block to call out the EX Tatsu and get a full punish the next time. So if we go to game 5, that interaction may come into play.
100%. You're gonna see him apply the pressure right here. There's a run-up throw. Oh, where are you going, man? I got you for 3 minutes of daytime. Here it is, back at it.
Oh boy, we saw a very similar situation here. Not gonna jinx it at all. Just gonna leave Rino to their own devices here with Ash Crimson and see if they can get the job done or if they opt to spend the meter to do it all as well.
Ooh, those homies. We're gonna go into the advanced cancel. Take as many resources from you as I can. EX into the corner, but he doesn't press anything else. I think he was expecting a flash kick from Rino, but Rino just content on blocking.
Oh, frame trapping into the fireball as well off of the 2B. So catching someone trying to take their turn back right there. So again, going to the anchor battle, Ash doesn't have access to the Sans Colette. Still needs a generous helping of meter before that's a problem. But Benimaru, a problem at any point, any meter, any position, any time.
Oh, and almost was gonna see God off of that jump in. Thankfully, he blocked it. Still a perilous position. That stage is cut off. He doesn't have much place to go. Only 1 bar. EXDP from Kula. Kula poised to take this to go into the bracket reset, which you will see that classic TNS Killer 15 bracket reset. Gonna run things even longer here. We're gonna go back down to an official 0-0 between the 2 players.
Look, we've had a hell of a bracket to this point. Why stop now? The players know that this is what the people want to see. This is all for the content. This is all to get the watch time on the YouTube VOD up, and we are gonna get a full another first to 3 here in the reset between RINO and Kula. Kula making the most out of the momentum gained off of the unfortunate drop from the Ash Sounds Colette combo and using that to ride into game 4. But we will see now that we've got time to go back into the room, back to the select screen. Are we going to be able to calm ourselves? And are we going to see the O.Yash?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, there we go.
I knew it was coming eventually. Yeah, holding off for the reset. That's a-okay. We were just talking about it earlier, how we feel like KOF players love to play extra games, right? So they have that like winner side team and that losers team that's a little stronger. You know, taking off the Ash Crimson, that's a-okay. I think he got as much as he could out of Ash Crimson, right? Putting O.Yashiro on point is definitely going to be detrimental to his gameplay here. See how it works out.
Here we go. Maybe also getting the buttons to sort of box a little bit more with Rio. I know Heidern has some pretty generous boxes or hitboxes as well, but sometimes you just want another brawler to match, and also the grappler vortex that Rio can put him on, because the Heidern vortex not necessarily working out against Kula in that first game. Nice 2C on the attempted hammer fist. To 2C again.
Another one, yeah. And Kula is going to take this first matchup here. Looks like the O.Yash pick not working out just yet. Kula still riding that wave of momentum all the way into the next game as we have Asaka 96 boosting through your speakers.
Yeah, you wanted the music change. Kula said, I'm going to win the set, and I got you, brother. I got you.
On it. All the way to the wall, level 1, gets the LTG just in time.
Talking about music, sweet chin music, and I won't pass the ox, and I'm not gonna pass on my chance to DP on out of there and go into level 1. Good bust out from Kula. The bonus damage on Yashiro again gonna add up, similar to what we saw in games 3 and 4.
Yashiro, another powerful 2C as well. I think he might even be able to challenge Rio's Fireball, right? If misplaced, he might be able to hit a 2C from maximum punish. They try to go for the 6A anti-air. Almost connected, and that definitely would have net RINO some great damage. But again, Kula just, the neutral is so solid from him, man. Doing a phenomenal job.
Not to overextend at all, like you said, with the Fireball. Got hit by that Heidern 2C once and just said, not again. I'm going to be a little bit better. But there you go. You got the 5B punish on there. So we're going to see if that's going to lead into something going forward. But good awareness spatially on the Jet Punch, sitting back to a space where you could counter Jet Punch, but your DP is going to get called out. But not before you tacked on a great bit of bonus damage and built some bar for the mid coming in, who has been doing a lot of work for Kula. We're talking about the Duolon.
Man, talking about this Duolon, I remember when he first picked up this character and he did not look comfortable at all. I was like, man, that Kula Duolon, he might have to swap characters, figure things out. But of course, the level of player that he is, showing me that he can go from 100 from 1 to 100, as we got a $10 direct contribution coming in from Andy. Thank you so much. Is that pronounced like mine when she dies? Andy! If
Look,
it's not, I'll say it.
Look, I mean, we can talk about Andy, but he is not on the screen. Who's on the screen right now is Duolon and Heidern. Heidern coming in after Yashiro biting the bullet there. The Duolon, like you said, didn't start off well in the career in the arms of Kula, but right now it looks like they've been playing them since they came out, even in the down times. But the down times may still be here, because right now we're in the corner against Heidern with our guard gauge going on down, forcing us to bust out using a bit of our own meter to get on out of harm's way with the guard cancel.
100%. The down times are over. Maybe the good times are going to roll in for RINO here. If he can get a solid hit, he needs to. He really needs to get a game just to control himself, right? Just after everything that has happened, but it is not looking like that's going to be the case. SDM, those homies, a lot of scaling, but still going to be hard for RINO to make this comeback.
Oh, there we go. Got the punish on the projectile. Gonna send out the pinwheel, blocking the overhead as well, blocking the low. My God, Kula.
Kula moving and cruising on through, taking yet another game. And he is officially in control of the set now that it has been resetted. He's 2 games.
You were talking about not looking comfortable when he started out, but how comfortable do you think Kula looks right now? They look like the game is just coming to them in a natural flow state. The Rio just doing so well in neutral, and then even better with the Duolon. It seems like RINO has no answers for what Kula has been able to put together here, especially going into these last 3 games. All the momentum and all of the I mean, literally every phase right now just seems dominated by Kula. We haven't even seen the Benimaru in a little bit.
100%, yeah. Benny's been big chilling, right? He's sipping his drink, he's hanging out, he's catching a nice little tan inside this gray cube somehow. But yeah, like the momentum definitely in Kula's favor, and we're just seeing the natural wear and tear of a long set. KOF is a long game, and when you run a bracket reset, it's gonna add some more of that wear and tear on the player. But we're gonna see the DP tearing through the jump from O.Yashiro.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that too, because RINO has had time to rest coming from winner's side, and he was waiting for the loser side to develop. We even had that lull during this loser semifinal, so may have just been a little bit cold, but like you said, the fatigue can still add up right now. But Rio still seems like all systems are go, as I should say. They're chasing their goal, trying to get Yashiro to stay in this corner. Farsi gonna hit the counter hit and keep them in there.
Big normal, that's the right jump. We needed that jump to save our life, and Rio is going to go down to the level 1 super. That was it looked risky at first, but my god did it pay off for Rio.
Absolutely, 1 bar and a dream is all you need as O.Yash. Just get that Orochi JC that he has bestowed upon his faithful. I mean, look, go down the list, look at all the JCs, go down the list.
I'm just laughing at chat destroying Incross right there. Incross like, oh man, the O.Yashiro is not looking too good, dies. Oh, well, I'm an Incross L, man. There we go.
Shouts out to the homie Incross, and shouts out to Duel on just doing the damn thing right now for Kula, getting O.Yash on out of there, forcing the other version of them, saying, calm down now, get the blood on out of you, go back to playing base.
Go back to playing base, bro. That's nasty. He can't even do that. Iori bumped him on the show, bro. It's over. It's KOF or bust. It's either Yashiro wins KOF or he's running up in people's houses, bro. It's one or the other.
We're trying to run away with this round as well. Already getting a good health tax there. A little bit of fake fireball setup there. I don't know if it was just a missed timing or just Kula testing them to see what they got going. But trying to get the advance, trying to keep them in the corner. RINO not biting. And not biting on the plus frames is Kula. So good stuff there from both of them, respecting each other's options at the right time.
Oh yeah, nice immediate blowback. But the interruption from the fireball, that was a great fireball too. He needed that. He was about to get wall splat. My man was gonna look like a pancake. Instead, got it right there, super confirmed, taking you all the way to the side.
You can look like a pancake on the wall or on the ground, potentially in the face of that 6A to end a level 1, presumably. But right now, Duel on reversing fortune. Talking about pastries, looking very sweet right now. Gonna go into the reset, not spend any bar on the super, trying to be a little bit more efficient for an incoming Heidern potentially. But what do you do when you don't pay the premium? Sometimes the IRS comes to collect, and the tax has been put on you, saying you got to pay up when I send you these letters. I don't care that it's by mail. You still got to check.
You got to hold that, and we checked all of your addresses. You're not getting away from this one, I can assure you. As we got Benimaru coming in. Nice little position for RINO. I mean, even in all of that there, able to just push him to the anchor, and this is what we need. But that anti-air low, again, the prowess of an O2 God and Kula.
Got the B button coming in clutch on the ground and in the air. The JB to finish it off after the 2B trip guard and forcing Heidern to come on in there. Equal life, equal bar as well. So this is going to be a very crazy scenario. What crazy is that drop? Had the max mode, but just a little bit too tall for their own good. What a jump, my God.
Yeah, the floaty limbs, Benimaru getting that big old hang time right there, looking like MJ. And there's those 2As, yep, trying to slow down any approach. But yeah, Kula's gonna take his sweet time. And Heidern knows, again, he can't throw any fireballs, right? Got that level 3. Of course, as soon as I say that, commentator's curse, as always. What am I even talking about? Why am I here? Who hired me? These are the questions we need to know. But EXR Jenkins looking to shut down those questions.
Oh, we're shutting down again with the 2B. Kula has been so good this whole run. Doesn't matter which character it is, the 2B trip guard has been so good. The spatial awareness and just knowing what the jump option is going to be from his opponents. J2K as well, talking about jump options. So hard to block that, and it's going to be hard to come back here as we are again pixel into prayer for Heidern.
Yeah, you essentially need a solid jump in, right? And then another cross up. But RINO, again, Kula, his neutral is top notch, man. He is like, his defense is impregnable, right? Like, it's hard to really break RINO, I keep saying Kula. It's really hard to break Kula down, especially when he has that big of a health lead. He just kept running away. Every time RINO would take a step forward, Kula would take that exact same step back. So you're always in the same amount of space, no matter where you are on the screen. And this is looking like a possible foregone conclusion. He is up 2 games after that dominant Grand Finals original set and looking to continue that streak into the reset here. Of course, it is not over. RINO has to win 3 games in a row, locked in on this team, so no more Ash Crimson. And the 2 round start 5 A's like it's Street Fighter 5. This might be cooked, Zoma.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Kula looking very comfortable, very cool, calm, and collected right now in this seat that they find themselves in, up 2 games, feeling some type of way and feeling themselves, because like you said, it's just throwing out options that are being just like, yeah, I know where I stand, my pedigree is solidified, and I am right now gonna put you in the blender of flurry of punches, capped off by a level 1 Ranboo, and putting some red on that life bar. My God.
He's blinking, man. He's almost done. It is looking like this O.Yashiro didn't do anything at all in this set here, but of course, better to hold off, right? Because he still has that big damage. 1 solid jump in. Not that it matters. Kula immediately busting off uppercut, 623 DP, immediately going into the very first super of all, the Ryuko Rumble.
Got that exact same thing in game 1, sat on it in game 2, and you're just thinking, okay, maybe he's just going to be a little bit more reserved going forward. Nope, that just shows you how good it is to vary your options, especially as you're this deep in the bracket. The bag has to run deep when you're in a bracket such as this, and Yashiro's going to have to dig deep here. And there you go, calling out the DP. Now RINO getting a little bit more of a pulse on what Kula's mind state is, as Rio getting punished for that DP, but Duolan, a whole different animal. Can't bait a DP that's not there.
Yeah, that's a risky DP even at that. He didn't have a bar, so it's like you do get the DP and that's fine, you create space, but it's like you don't get the bigger damage to convert into super. So I'm not sure, but that immediate cross up there, EX teleport to the other side, reminding me of KOFXV just a little bit with this dual line.
Yeah, unbelievable. Wow. And calling out the dash punch, saying, I got one of those too. I got a command dash as well, so I know how to get out of those. But the crazy thing right here is we've talked so much about the comfortable mind state that Kula has to be in right now. With a character like Duolon that can sort of reward you by playing fast and free, as we're already free burning ourselves over to the corner on the part of Yashiro. But you got to imagine that could be super scary to deal with. Somebody who's playing with absolutely no reservations with Duolon, but we're not feeling any reservations with Yashiro. We're letting you know how we feel right now as we get the chip out with the jet punch right to the gut. Benimaru, come on out. I need to talk to you one time.
And that's exactly the way we need to play, right? No reservations, no holding back, right? Like the homie said in Waterboy, last game of the year, Brand, is the last game of the tournament. Can't hold anything back. You gotta go crazy right here. But we have not really seen RINO been able to get rid of this Benimaru. Even in these situations where he's at a 2-character or 1-character deficit, he's able to make those comebacks with Benny. If he applies this pressure right now, 3 bars, we can land some big damage from Yashiro, but immediately clap back EXDP.
There you go. There's that 6B you were talking about. Duolon has an annoying one, but Yashiro does as well. Almost converted into an ender, as did that 2B, but not quite ready. Counter hit on the JC. Not quite safe enough on that jump. The DP to get on out of there, and we're just going to whiff the sweep into the EX Slicer to catch a retreating Yashiro. Good job catching the retreating option there. And here comes Heidern, 5 bars, but still Benimaru looking very formidable in their own right, as this could potentially be the last time we see either of these characters.
Yeah, I mean, either this might be it, right, for the tournament.
Yeah.
Kula is able to take this one over RINO, and this could be the ending of the game, and that's what it comes down to. Controlling that airspace, Benimaru does so well. Heidern wants to get those jumps, right? Get those ambiguous, lanky normals in. Oh my god, if that was a trade combo. Star cancels out. The slow walk up, I like it.
Not quite ready on the moon slash there. Man, not have had the full charge. It just didn't believe. Trying to do advanced strike to see if they could bait out a throw there. And then just reverse roll through with an EX command grab. A filthy.
Oh my god, I can't believe that Kula had that one ready. Anything's gonna work, and this, oh no, he dropped it. That was a chance. RINO still in this one. 3 bars. The interruption, Zoma. He's gonna actually go for the level 1. Be able to build some life. No, yes, spin it. I agree. I don't think this is enough to kill though. And maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. I am not wrong.
Oh my gosh, it's coming down to the wire right now. Now Reno's gonna opt to be reserved to throw out that 5A, kind of bait out a fireball, but you gotta be ready for the EX Slicer to go through a normal one like Jake right there and run up with the 2B, and Benimaru and Kaido gonna do the classic run up 2B, and that is how Kula takes the set with a 3-0 reset right on down to the wire, but it felt like Kula was just in position the entire time.